We'll be live. Hello, everyone. We're going to be answering questions today, specifically Patreon questions. And then if there are any YouTube members, they can come up and talk live on air with me as well. And maybe a couple of live chat questions if there are any good ones. So, yeah, we have a couple of Patreon questions. I'm going to go through it again. If you wanted me to answer your questions, the best way to do that is to become a patron. Link to our Patreon account is in the description. Or if you would like to come and talk to me live on air, the best way to do that is to become a YouTube member. And for YouTube members, after I'm done answering some questions, I'm going to put a link on a community tab for only YouTube members. Maybe I'll do that earlier. And then YouTube members can see that and come and talk to me live on air. Again, this is a smaller channel compared to our Atheist Republic channel. So we don't have that many YouTube members here. But if you are if you are interested in talking to me, this is a better way. This channel, because it's smaller, it's more cozy. It's a good way to like have long discussions live on air if you're interested. Oh, D is here. Hi D. Hi Soha. Soha is saying audio is great. The future is female is here. Hi everyone. All right, let's get to the Patreon questions. Okay, so here's the first Patreon question. The question goes, this is from Gusala Kuchik, is asking, what is the origin of Iran and Venezuela's close relationship? I was struck by the news of this agreement, and the agreement is Iran to use 1 million hectares of land in Venezuela to grow food. Right, so I have the news article. Thank you to Gusala Kuchik for actually providing the news article. But before I check it out here on air, I wanted to say the I think a lot of you have guessed what is the reason behind close relationship between Iran and Venezuela is their anti-American sentiment and their positioning against the United States. That is what's bringing them close together, and this is basically what brings Iran, Venezuela, Russia, and China all close together, and Syria, right, is their position not just against the United States but against the world liberal order, right? So they have, but again, China is also invested in the world liberal order, so it's kind of like hit and miss. But Venezuela is isolated in more in a more in a position closer to Iran, right? It's under economic sanctions and under a lot of United States trying to sometimes making moves against the regime in Venezuela, like in the same way in Iran. So Iran and Venezuela see a lot in common when it comes to taking positions against the United States. So there's a lot of room for cooperation. However, this is like, if this shocked you, if this 1 million hectares has shocked you, I have to show you something even more shocking, right? So do you think this is significant? Watch this. Okay, so this is the news that you sent me, which we could share, which we could read live on air. So this one is Iran to use 1 million hectares of land in Venezuela to grow food. But this is something even more significant, is this. Iran, China, Russia set to hold military I can't speak today, drills in Latin America. Okay, in Latin America. And again, this is because Venezuela is not the only country in Latin America where Iran is getting closer to, right? So I could read this article as well. This is Iran is making a heavy push in Latin America, and this is the first time. I think Iran has managed to get this close to the United States. Iranian military has never been this close to the United States. This is, I don't know why this is not being covered. The only place I could really find this is on Press TV, which is, this is Iranian. I mean, I verified that this is true because I saw on Iran International this was covered as well. But the only online place that I could find that is covering this news is Press TV right now. But this is major. Like, I don't know why this is not, why the alarms are not being rang right now over this. Like, this is huge. Like, I don't know if any in the history of United States have you had ever an enemy officially do military drills, and an official enemy of the United States have military drills this close to home, right? So let me actually read this. Iran, China, and Russia are set to take part in joint military maneuvers hosted by Venezuela. Again, so this is the reason why uh, this military maneuvers are related to this earlier news that um, that was being asked, is because this is being hosted by Venezuela. Like, Venezuela is making this possible, right? Because officially this is legal, because Venezuela, if Venezuela is like allowing you, like, because people are like, how could United States allow this? Well, the question is, how could United States stop this? This is legal under international law. Like, Venezuela is hosting them, and Iran is taking its military into, and this shows the how significant it is for Venezuela to be working with Iran. It makes it legally possible for Iran to send its military all the way this close to U.S. borders, right? Like, legally, under international law, there's nothing you could do about this, right? Yeah. Yeah, see, D, like, even D in the live chat, who is follows the news, like, stuff like this, she hasn't heard about this. This is huge, guys. You're Americans. Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran's military is this close to you. Do you understand? And this is Iran as a country that is potentially going to be a nuclear power, and they having drills, right, right, right close to Iranian borders, to American borders. I don't. This should be headline news everywhere. I don't understand. So so I'm not going to read the rest of this. I just want to read the other news that um, the question was originally was about. Here, let me highlight the question again. An Iranian official says that Venezuela has agreed to provide 1 million hectares of agricultural land for Iran's overseas cultivation projects to secure food, announcing the agreement. So, guys, by the way, it's not just this. It's not just this, and also these drills here. The ties between Venezuela and Iran have been going on for a couple of years. They're a lot deeper than this. Like, they are, I don't know, there are so many different chains, like I don't know what they're called, like mall chains that from with Iranian brands that are being um, made in Venezuela, and also in Latin America as a whole. Shia Islam, there are a lot of imams being sent to Latin America to try to try to spread that Iranian versions of Shia Islam in Latin America. I actually had a debate with an imam, Iranian imam in Latin America, like one of the imams that was sent by the Iranian regime to Latin America to spread Iranian Shia ideology. By the way, the reason why I say Iranian Shia ideology, because Shia Islam there's an Iranian version of that. I had a debate with that guy on in Persian on Clubhouse. So this is like a major move. And again, these are investments that the Iranian government is making in Latin America that is going to eventually, like, the results of this are going to be felt in decades to come, right? And Iran always had a presence in Latin America. Like, imagine Iranian presence in Argentina and terrorist attacks that they did over there. But now they're making a more strategic approach, and also they are very close to some Latin Americans politicians as well. Like, some of them are actively being supported and funded by the Iranian regime. This is why recently, when Iranian plane was stopped in Latin America, you could see the politicians. Some of them were trying to defend the Islamic Republic of Iran, because some of them, this is something that is going, like, I think it's not being covered by English media that much, but in a couple of years, I think the results of these investments by Iran is investing both in Latin America but also in Africa, and I think, like, the result of this in a decade or two, or maybe even earlier, is going to eventually lead to things that has to become headline news. But anyways, like, just be aware of this, that this is happening, and slowly, like, for example, Iran invested a lot of resources in the Middle East, and eventually you saw that how much control they have eventually had over Iraqi politics today and Lebanon politics today, right? So this is like they're doing the same thing now for the future, but they have a long-term, these are long-term plans, and you could see like similar things eventually happening in Africa and in Latin America. So just be aware of this. This is important. Oh, Idris is here. Hi, Idris. Yeah. And Qasim is talking about Hugo Chavez's mom, which got a hug from Iranian former president Ahmadinejad, which got a lot of criticism back in Iran by a lot of religious people, because you're not supposed to hug a woman Islamically. That's it's illegal. It's haram. Anyways, let's go to the next question. All right, next question. Things seem to be going very badly for the Islamic Republic of Iran, or the Iranian regime, over the past 2 years. What are some things that are going well for them, or playing in their favor? Okay, so the things that are going well for the regime is that they seem to have been unified. Like the hardliners have been taken over, like the divisions. So this is a good, this might be something in their favor, but it also might backfire, because so the divisions within the regime has in some senses reduced, and in some senses it has increased, right? So the hardliners in Iran have managed to take over everything, right? So Khamenei's takeover. So Khamenei initially, his dominance over Iranian politics was a challenging one, right? He had a lot of people who were not happy with him having such absolute power. But over the past couple of years, he has managed to completely eliminate every single threat. So, I mean, within the regime itself, right? Including Rafsanjani, which was one of the major powers responsible for the Islamic Republic's, politics. But ever since Raisi became the president, Khamenei's takeover of the entire regime has been complete. He owns the presidency. He owns the parliament. He owns the judiciary system. He owns the IRGC. He owns the Artesh. He owns the entirety of the government of Iran. Is Khamenei, Ali Khamenei, right? So this means potentially less, so the reformists have been annihilated as of right now, and the annihilation continues. Like we thought that the election, of Raisi, that was like, okay, that was the final nail in the coffin. But there are more nails. Apparently, this coffin has more nails, because recently they arrested Tajzadeh, which was a major figure in Iranian reformists. Like there are a lot of, but for people who don't know, right now in Iran, things are very, very, very tense, because a lot of people are being arrested as we speak in the past 2 or 3 days. Okay, I don't know when this part of the video will come up, but as the time of the recording, even, and the people who are being arrested, like, so we thought like when the government, when the hardliners take over everything, they might loosen up a little bit, because they have everything now, they control everything, so they should be like, okay, we won. But they're doubling, they are going after everybody now, like even the people that used to be, that government used to tolerate, had some mild opposition against the regime. In the past 2 or 3 days, they're just being arrested, right? Some people think that this is them just like finalizing the complete takeover, the hardliners. But some people think that this shows actual desperation, because they're afraid of what's about to happen, because the opposition it doesn't have any leadership anymore, but people's voices are getting louder and louder and louder. And some people think like this might suggest that they are scared. Also, by the way, they're also doubling down and arresting people who are without hijab. And there's another question about that, so I'll talk about that then. But so what is going well for them is that it does seem like their hands are untied, right? Like even internally, when there were a couple of groups that were challenging them, like this is not the way, this is too much, this is too harsh, maybe we should have more talks with America, maybe we should open up to the world, maybe we should let young people just be free a little bit, maybe just loosen up a little bit and stuff. These people, the hardliners, feel like this is ours now. None of this, they're not giving into any of these reformist suggestions or oppositions, right? So that's one way to look at it that might be a positive for the hardliners. Another way to look at it that could be considered a positive as well is that as bad as things are, like the JCPOA doesn't seem to be going anywhere. The sanctions seem to be increasing. Inflation in Iran is skyrocketing. Poverty is increasing. Drought. Iran is going to deal with drought. Freedoms are being stripped away. Everything looks bad, but as bad as things are, the regime doesn't look like, as of right now, I know like tomorrow a black swan event might happen and everything might fall apart. But as of right now, even as bad as things are, the regime looks stable, right? I know a lot of people will hate me for saying this, but there doesn't seem to be a way for the regime to fall apart. Even though with the opposition rising, when people being louder, more people are being more daring, people are becoming more extreme when it comes to calling out the Ayatollah. All of that is happening. There seems to be the popularity of the regime has been reduced significantly. It is dropping like a rock. Even though it was very low, it's becoming even lower. With all of that and sanctions, and people, like even people that were pro-regime are now anti-regime because they're the inflation and they're becoming poor. But with all of that, all of this combined, it still doesn't look like there's a way to remove this regime. So if they could survive this, that will signal, like if they come out of this worst case scenario for them, if they survive it and then eventually things become better, that means they will potentially means that it was a stress test. And it means that like they could survive everything because they could survive this. So that's I know this is a stretch, but I'm just trying to, because the question is like to give you positive, and it's right now things are so bad for them that it's hard for me to come up with a good example. But just to be able to answer the question, I'm trying to think of something. You know what I mean? The other stress tests eventually, if global inflations are removed, and maybe if the JCPOA comes back, and some of the stress goes away, some of these tensions go away, the next stress test to look forward to see if they pass that is the death of Khamenei, and see what happens when he dies. And another one is the eventual drop in oil prices. That's another stress test to look forward to see what if they manage to go through that, surviving through that. And another one is if you have satellite internet and somehow Iranian people manage to get access to free, unfiltered internet without having to use VPNs and stuff like that. That would be another stress test. So these three things would be another stress test to look forward to see if Iran will go through it, passing or not. Okay, Satya is asking. By the way, Satya, I sent you a link if you want to come up at the end. You could come up and have any discussions if you want with me. And Satya, the answer to the question is yes, but we're not trying to highlight it because we don't want to bring attention to it. But yeah, we managed to do something about that. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna highlight this other comment. It was somebody saying, okay, the future is female is saying Khamenei showed unexpected political genius. Kind of makes me think of Ali, the Khalif with the Shura. You mean Ali ibn Abi Talib? You mean the? Okay, so first of all, Khamenei, I don't know if it's his genius that has made him survive. Um, it might be the IRGCs. I don't know who. It's really hard to know what's happening behind the scenes, right? And who's responsible, because Khamenei himself owes his rise to power to IRGC's bet on him. Like he was the like this. It was a mutual. It was a bit. It was a win-win betting on Khamenei betting on IRGC and IRGC betting on Khamenei that made them both rise to power, right? So I don't know if it was his genius or he's not a genius. He's an idiot because there are a couple of I don't know if I could say everything, because one of the things that he's a couple of things that he says to me shows that he might be a genius in political affairs, but overall he's an idiot. Like he said live, like on national TV, that he thinks that the enemies of Iran are working with demons. So like literal demons. This was not a figurative speech. Like they are using demonic powers as a way to fight Iran. So I don't know if he's a genius, somebody who says like that. He also said something about the I don't know if I could say the Rona jab, right? The Rona jab. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm just not trying not to say it because YouTube is sensitive about it. He said something about it that was crazy. Okay, it was insane. It was so conspiratorial that like you have to be out of your mind to think something like that. So he doesn't seem like a genius. And also Ali ibn Abi Talib was not really good at he was horrible. Ali ibn Abi Talib was a really poor statesman as well. Like the three caliphs were managed to bring some level of order and peace, at least within the Islam. I mean, horrible for other people who they were attacking, but at least within the Islamic community, the three other caliphs managed to bring some peace and harmony. Ali's reign was just infighting and Muslims killing Muslims all the way. So I don't know if that's a good fair comparison. Yeah, somebody saying he must have good advisors, or I don't know, like, or he just got lucky. It's hard to say. Yeah, somebody saying he doesn't deserve the title of Merja. Yeah. I mean, nobody does, but less than others. Okay, let's go to. Okay, I think I answered this one. Yep. All right. Ooh, the question after this one is a juicy one. All right, let's do this one. All right, what do you think about the Belgian government negotiating the release of Asadullah Assadi? I find it a bit incredulous. Am I reading that right? Incredulous, yes. That they are even negotiating at all. Why are they engaging with the regime that planned a terrorist attack on their own soil? Besides the release of 2 Belgian citizens that the regime is now holding hostage, what does the Belgian stand to gain from this? Okay, so first of all, they haven't said that they're releasing Asadullah Assadi. So for people who don't know, Asadullah Assadi, well, actually, let's just read the article about this so that everybody could get up to speed. So thank you for sending the article along with your question so we could read it live on air. This actually really helps. But it's not. I don't think it's fair to say that they are just going to release the guy. They passed a law that makes it makes them allows them to do that, right? So let's read this. Okay, so Belgium Iran deal paves the way for Iranian diplomat bombers release. Okay, so this is the guy. This guy is a terrorist that went to Europe to bomb a whole bunch of people, and now Belgium and he failed, and now Belgium is passing a law that allows them to just release the man in exchange of Iranian prisoners, which sounds like a horrible idea, because that's just like signals to Iran that, oh yeah, just it signals to Iran. It signals two things to Iran. First of all, it signals to Iran that arrest more foreigners in Iran, so you could use them as negotiating chips, or yeah, is that what they call them? Or and also it signals to Iran to do more terrorist attacks, because you're gonna get your boy back at some point. You're not going to get harsh sanctions and and reactions. You might even get the person you sent over who failed. You might even get him back. Like, this is insane. And it's very interesting because this doesn't get much coverage because it failed. Like, for example, the Paris attacks by terrorists, that got a lot of attention because, and people are like, oh, it's the Sunnis that do terrorist attacks. Well, this guy was sent by the Islamic Republic of Iran. This was supposed to be a Shia attack, and it was supposed to be a bombing in a crowd, at a huge gathering of people, and U.S. officials were there in that gathering. Like, so many people would have died if this bomb had went off, and like a lot of people don't talk about it, like especially like leftists in United States, when like Kyle Kulinski, like, oh, it's not the Iranians don't do terrorist attacks. It's just like the Sunnis, right? It's Saudis and like the Gulf Arab countries. Like, such a insane, like they don't highlight this. If this bomb had went off, so it could have potentially been worse than what the Paris attack. And not only like people are like, oh, Iran shouldn't be sanctioned because of like just this alone should have been enough for insane. Because, guys, okay, it gets worse than this, because the guy, okay, let me read this, okay, because the yeah, Soha is like, what the hell, and D is saying terrible idea. Okay, so let's read this. The Belgian government has sent a draft bill that could, okay, so it was a draft bill at the time of this writing, but it passed. Okay, so I'm giving you the updated news. This bill passed. That could facilitate future prisoner exchange between Belgium and Iran to the country's legislature, which may be approved as soon as this week. Yep, spoiler alert, it was passed. Okay, if passed, the bill officially permitting the transferal of sentenced persons to Iran and vice versa, something already permissible between EU member states and 19 other countries, could pave the way for a deal involving the release of Asadullah Assadi, the former third secretary of the Islamic Republic's embassy in Austria. So do you understand what I just read here, guys? The guy that was supposed to bomb this gathering in Europe, he was an Iranian official. Like, this is not just like a random dude. Like, this guy was a diplomat, right? So this is the guy officially worked for the embassy. He even had diplomatic immunity, right? Like, this is a staff member of the Iranian embassy. And how is this not getting major reactions? Like, this is war. This is like an Iranian government employee planning an attack on European soil. This is a declaration of war. But not only this is like oh no, like, not only doesn't result in like major sanctions against Iran, they're like, hey, can we like have some of the people that Iran has kidnapped, okay, not arrested, because the Europeans that Iranian government arrests, they're like, they have done nothing. They're just like, oh, you're a spy. Okay, let's just arrest you so that we could use you for prisoner swap, right? So this encourages more kidnappings. Like obviously they are now valuable. Europeans on Iran soils are becoming more valuable because of this. This is insane. I don't understand what's happening. Okay, so not only this they don't see this as a declaration of war or at least sanctions. Like they're sending him back. They might. I don't know. They haven't yet, but they might send him back. This is no. Somebody saying lone wolf. No, this is not a lone wolf. This guy was an Iranian government official. Lone wolf. What are you talking about? Back in March. Okay, here. Back in March, the Islamic Republic of Iran and the Kingdom of Belgium signed a treaty agreeing in principle to the transferal of convicted nationals in the other territory with either long or life prison sentences. No exception was set for those convicted for serious crimes such as terrorism or internationally recognized crimes against humanity. Assadi was sentenced to 20 years. Unbelievable. 20 years only. Like the man was planning to bomb an entire group of people and he only got 20 years. Sure. In prison. Okay. So, and he's not going to serve that. Maybe he's not going to serve that even. Was sentenced to 20 years in prison by a court in Antwerp. Am I reading this right? In early 2021 for his part in the 2018 bomb plot targeting an event for Iranian dissidents in Europe. Just this week, it emerged that the Islamic Republic is reportedly holding at least two Belgian citizens hostage for potential use in such a transfer. What are you doing? You're encouraging more hostage taking. An aid worker, Oliver, I don't know what this last name is, Vande. Okay, I'm not going to read it. And an unnamed university professor. Okay, so never mind. News of the draft bill prompted horrified reactions from Iranians opposed to the regime who took to social media to protest under the hashtag Don't Free Terrorists and hashtag No to Appeasement. Among the posters were individuals who said they were at the MEK supporters rally in Paris that was the intended target of the bomb plot. So then it asks whether the guy is qualified for the transfer. Who is the Belgian? Okay, so actually let's look at the people involved. On July, okay, so the Belgian hostages that Iran has taken as a way to maybe get their boy back. This is the guy. On July 2nd, an informed source told Iran International that at least two Belgian citizens were being held captive in Iran. A Belgian Iranian professor at Leuven University, and this other guy, Oliver, I don't know, a 40-year-old aid worker. On Monday, the channel reported that this Oliver guy had been head of the Norwegian Refugee Council, NRC's Iran operation since 2015 and held the same role at Relief International. Okay, he had an important. Okay, so never mind this. Okay, so these are just random civilians that Iran just takes as hostage for prisoner exchange. But look, the guy that they want, the terrorist, the Asadullah Assadi. Let's read a little bit about this guy. Asadullah Assadi is the first diplomat. See, this is what I was telling you. He was a diplomat. Okay? The Iranian diplomat was charged for planning an act of terror. And like, why is the world not reacting more harshly to this? I don't understand this. Like, I remember watching some of these American YouTubers that were pro Iran and more like anti Arab Gulf country, but pro Iran. They were like, Iran has never done anything like they were looking at some terrorist attacks that were done by like Gulf Arab countries, like citizens of Gulf Arab countries, and they're like, but they don't get any sanctions, and yet Iran hasn't done anything like this, and they get all the sanctions. Like, what are you talking about? You're supposed to be a political commentator. How do you not know about this? Okay, like don't make claims like this. Iran has been doing stuff like this in many places. Iran has terrorist attacks all over the globe. Okay, the fact that you don't hear about it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And especially this one, if this one has happened, it would have been huge. It would have been devastating. Okay. And by the way, the guy, when he was arrested, he was trying to make the point that he should be let go because he's a diplomat, so he has diplomatic immunity. The guy was trying to play the diplomatic immunity card. Like, what are you talking about? You were trying to bomb a whole crowd. You can't get diplomatic immunity over that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Somebody saying anti-Gulf, pro-Iran. Okay, yeah, that's basically a lot of American leftists are like that. They're like defend Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, and they're anti-Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, even, or Bahrain, or even maybe not Qatar, but that's how that's and they look everything through that lens, right? Iran has been undeservedly condemned, but these the true source of terror are these Sunnis. That's how they see the world. So it says Asadullah Ali is the first diplomat to have lost his diplomatic immunity since the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relationships came into effect. Wow! For this Asadullah Ali is Asadullah Asadi is the first person in the history of diplomatic immunity to have lost his diplomatic immunity. That's amazing. Came to yeah. So so Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations came into effect in April 1964 for violating both its provisions and for committing acts unrelated to his diplomatic mission. Yeah, I would say that trying to bomb a crowd of people would be an act unrelated to your diplomatic mission, especially because it doesn't sound very diplomatic to go boom boom in a crowd. Also, by the way, what's the other point I was trying to make? Oh yeah, another point. The guy, when like the understanding is the law, the way that it's being written, when he goes back, he doesn't have to like serve prison time in Iran. Okay, so some people are like, oh yeah, you send us your prisoners, and we send you our prisoners, and maybe the person that was committed a crime maybe could serve the rest of his sentence in Iran. And like, is this a joke? Like the last time prisoners were sent back to Iran, there were a group of people that were trying to attack. There was this one man that was trying to do an attack on, and he accidentally threw the grenade, but he dropped it and he lost both of his legs, right? And they were sending him back, and instead, like, they were met with flowers. They were treated as heroes returning home from war. So this guy Asadullah Asadi could potentially meet the same reception if he's sent back to Iran. People are going to treat him like a hero coming back from war to home. Oh my god, the future is female. I'm not going to read that comment. That's like, oh my god. Oh, Perfect Davo is here. Perfect Davo, if you want, you could come, because this Asadullah Asadi guy, the crowd that he wanted to go boom boom on was MEK, right? And Perfect Davo is a member of the MEK. Okay, so let me see if I can send you the link to come and talk to us about it if you want. Hey, where is it? Which step? Okay, I'm gonna send the link to Mushtaba if he wants to come talk to me live on air. I'm gonna email it to you. All right, but before we do that, I'm gonna answer the next question while Mushtaba comes and live on air to talk to us. Okay. Okay, let's do the last Patreon question. Qasim, Qasim is like Fuck MEK. Qasim, if you want to come and talk to this MEK member live on air, let me know. I can send you the link as well. Oh no, Qasim, don't say that. That's hard. That's not good. If you want to say that, then don't come here. Don't come up. We could get in trouble for saying that. All right, let's look at this one. Let me actually make sure I sent the email to our friendly MEK member. Yes, I did. Oh, there we go. Perfect Dava is here. Okay, let's have perfect. This is a good time to bring Perfect Dava up because I need to use the washroom. Hi. Wait, I don't hear it, guys. Do you hear him? I don't hear anything. Hello? Do you guys hear anything? Perfect Dava. I like that. I like the confidence. It's not like good Dawa. It's not great Dawa. It's not like extraordinary Dawa. It's perfect Dawa. Like it can't be any better. Like it's flawless. Okay? There's no problem with his Dawa. Like you can't find any issues. It's the best Dawa. Do you have my voice? Do you guys have my voice? Okay. Perfect Dawa. Oh, he left. I was going to use this as a washroom break. Damn. All right. Let's answer the last question. He's going to show up right in the middle of me to answer. Oh, there we go. He's back. Perfect Dawa. Perfect Dawa. Perfect Dawa. No? You usually have good connection. You're like, you come on debates and stuff, so I don't understand what's happening. Guys, like, I hope he doesn't think like I'm doing something. He's gonna be like, this was my plan to make him like. He's gonna think like I'm doing this on purpose. Okay. I'm not. Oh, he left again. I don't know what to do. Should I start reading the next question or should I just wait for him to? Okay, people are saying go and pee. Okay, I'm going to leave this right here so people know that I'm away. All right. Done. Okay, so Qasim is asking, Perfect Double, can we have you on the Farsi channel? I think he's scared to come on the Farsi channel. I invited him a couple of times, but his excuse is that the reason why he doesn't come on the Farsi channel is like the MEK organization. He says that they already have everything you need to know in Farsi. It's the English people that might be that I am like maybe lying about and misguiding you about the MEK being a cult and stuff. So he's like, I would just come and speak to the English speaking people to let them know that the MEK is amazing. It's the best organization ever. But maybe I'm wrong, okay? But I think like he knows that he would be crucified on the Persian side. Like MEK members, like people, a lot Iranians, again, he would say, maybe Perfect Dabo would say that I'm lying here right now, but my impression is that Iranians hate the MEK. So this is why he wouldn't come and speak on the Persian show. Maybe. I'm not sure. But I will keep inviting him if he's ever interested to come and speak on the Persian show. And Soha is like, yes. So like, Perfect Dava is not perfect anymore. Yes, Perfect Dava, if you were perfect, you wouldn't have this many audio issues, would you? Oh, and Soha is like posting a link to the Persian channel if you guys are interested. MEK saying, Ian is saying MEK sounds like a secret society. It sounds like a cult. It's not very secret. In fact, they advertise a lot. Okay, secret societies don't advertise this much. They have entire teams dedicated to social media. They have like rows and rows of people behind computers just like trying to do social media work. Bassem is saying no MEK member there's coming on the Farsi channel. It's true. Like we don't like they're always in the comment section telling us that we're like agents of the Islamic Republic of Iran and we're lying and everything. But we invite them to come and defend the MEK on the Persian side. They never show up because I think they know that how hated they are. Anyways, maybe one day we get an MEK member. Hey, Oxymoron, you're here. Oxymoron, I sent you the link if you want to come and talk live on there. Actually, let me post the link on the channel on, where? I'm going to post a link on the community tab for our members if anybody wants to come. Just for our members only. And Satya and Perfect Dava. Satya. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so given that Perfect Dava is not coming, I'm just gonna go right to the. Oh, somebody's asking, is MEK like Falun Gong? Yeah, yeah, it is. Because okay, the similarity to Falun Gong is that Falun Gong is correct to say that China. Yes, the MEK is Iran's Falun Gong. Oh my God, how come I've never seen this before? Because, okay, so just like the CCP has actually done horrible things to Falun Gong, right? It's true, okay? But Falun Gong is still a cult, okay? In the same way, the MEK is correct to say that the Islamic Republic of Iran has done horrible, horrible things to its members, right? Massacred, like executed thousands of their members. And that should be condemned, okay? But still, MEK is a cult. So very interesting. I wonder what other similarities we could find. Hey, Perfect Dabo, you're still in live chat. How come you're not coming up? Oh, okay. So Perfect Dabo is saying, I said I am on the beach, so my connection is bad. Okay, so your connection is not perfect. Satya.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Is
can.
the voice a little bit clearer this time?
I don't
Last
remember
time there
how
were noises, air noises, and some things.
Yeah, you don't have any background noise, so that's good.
Okay, I'm using the Crisp app right now.
You're using what?
The Crisp app, KRISP. It's like an application that you can download and it cleans your voice.
Ooh, okay. That's good to know. I'll let people know that. Do you want to ask your questions, or do you want me to? Oh, do you want me to? Oh, maybe we could like answer the last Patreon question together as well. But before we do that, do you have any questions or topics that you want to bring up?
I wanted to talk about that monogamy thing in India. That why it is better to have monogamy in a third world country, and unlike a first world country.
Oh, why is it good to have monogamy in a third world country?
Yes. Like, why
Okay.
is it better to have polygamy banned in a third world country?
Okay. Because my view is that it should be free to do, like the government shouldn't be involved in telling us how many people to be with.
Yes, I think ideally that's true, but like when you come to India, the like women literally have no agency right now. So many a times it is possible that parents will just marry off their kids to a rich man because like the man is rich, and even though he has many more wives, and even when the daughter does not want to do it, and their lives might be miserable like at a later point of time. So to guarantee that women don't like get trapped into this thing. So I think we should ban monogamy right now. It's like for divorce settlements, when the in a first world country, when everybody has agency, so at that point of time the government can take a back seat and tell the people that you two people decide whatever you have to distribute between yourself. But if it comes to a third world country, then the husband will have all the agency and the wife will literally be thrown out of the street. I think that's why
Um,
in third world countries where women have no agency, I think we should have one to one
wouldn't you want
policy.
to give? Okay, I don't understand how this works. Wouldn't aren't you taking more agency away from women by telling them by introducing limitations? Like, wouldn't a giving people agency require the government to reduce its laws?
Yes, agreed. But if it happens, then the results will be skewed in the favor of men, because the result will come out that men will have like two or three wives, and the rich man will have two or three wives, but the rich women will at max have one husband. Because the social stigma and everything is so great that I don't think it will be possible to for women to grow out of that thing.
I just think it just sounds like you're saying like, oh, the family are taking agency away from women. So
Yes.
instead of the family taking agency away from the woman, let the government take the agency away from woman. You know what I mean?
No, no, no. I think that the family is taking away all the agency from the women, and in that process, where the girl will end up, her life will be like far more miserable. So instead of that, the government should take away the agency
So
from the parents to like just marry off their daughters, and when the
okay,
like
so
the
why can't
society
you have
progresses.
okay, so if, let's say for example you have one woman, okay, right?
Mm,
And there's
yes,
two options to her for her, okay? Marry
yes,
a rich man that
yes,
has two other wives, okay?
yes,
Or marry a poor man that has no other wives, okay? You're
yes,
saying that it would be better for her to marry the poor man that has no other wives?
yes.
How do you know
Because
why?
if the agency has been taken away from her, the probability is that she is from a poor family, and then when she gets married into a family in which the man is very rich, it is highly likely that that man will not give the proper respect to this poor woman when it comes to like
But the
daily.
poor, okay, but she might have a better life with a rich man with two other wives than a poor man with no other wives. She might have a better life. Shouldn't we try to focus to making her able to make the decision, like rather than be like, oh, the family is not making the right decision. Let the government make the decision for her. Shouldn't we instead try to put laws that takes away the forced the decision from the family and gives the decision to her? Like, shouldn't that
No,
be the
right
focus?
now, yes, right now on paper the girl has the full agency, but it is not implemented properly on the ground, and most.
I just think like when government thinks like, oh, this is an issue, let's come up with a solution that just covers, like a blanket solution to a nuanced problem. Usually it doesn't,
Yes, it
you know
doesn't
it does
work. I agree.
it doesn't work. Yeah,
Yes, but that's the
I
thing I
think
was
maybe
saying.
maybe like instead of doing that, making divorce easier. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like
yes,
making
there
it
was.
easy for making it easy for women to divorce. I think that might be a good way to give agency to women.
Yes, because right now, like they have to just go to courts again and again and again, and the judges say that wait for 6 months, then again 6 months, then 1 year. They keep delaying the process. I don't know why.
Yeah. But you
Yes, I
agree
think
with me that in a country where things are ideal, the ideal would be every woman
yes,
can marry four husbands if they wanted to, and every man could marry
yeah,
as four wives if they wanted to, right?
yes, yes. In an ideal world where everyone has agency and free choice, and it is not
Yeah,
suppressed by the society and family, I think there everybody should have full agency to marry how many people, no matter how many people they want.
yeah. But the only issue with that is like there would be certain rights that it would be so hard to give to so many people. Do you know what I mean? Like then people will just because I think there might be one you might want to put a cap on the rights for for example, like I don't know, you want to give hospital rights to like what if I want to marry 10 women, right? Are all of them going to get equal hospital rights? Are all of them going to get I don't know, like PRs, permanent residentships, if I'm like um you know
That will be a
Canadian and
problem.
they're from other countries, like I could just basically become a PR, a permanent residentship making machine by that. Like you're just like, hey, I want 100 wives and give them all PRs. Like the issue is going to be like the rights. Maybe like for the sake of children, who lives with who, and recognizing the relationship, I think there shouldn't be any limit. But maybe there should be a limit on how many people the government gives the same rights to. You know what I mean?
Yes, I think that's
Yeah,
like
I don't know how that works.
possible
Yeah, I think it
because
should just be. I think those rights. I think other than other than permanent residentship rights, and the government should be like staying out of everything else. Like I think like hospital visitation, or who gets the child and who gets what money through a divorce. All of this should be contractual, and it should be government shouldn't have like a template law for everybody. I think these should be flexible and decided upon at the moment of marriage based on what both sides agree. You know what I mean?
I
And you could just like point these out, like, and every marriage could be like a contract flexible to the decisions that the both sides are making, right? I think the only part that the government should decide, like, okay, this is my business, okay, like I need to get involved here, is like, who are we giving permanent residentships to? Like, I could only give permanent residentships to maybe like one person, right? You have to pick the person, right? Like beyond
yeah,
one person, I can't do like you can't have 4 wives and I give permanent residentship to all of them, right? I think that's the
yeah.
only limit. That yeah.
Like, do you want to like take up the last Patreon question, or should we jump on to UCC, Uniform Civil Code?
Wait, say that again.
Do you want to take the last Patreon question, or should we jump to Uniform Civil Code, talking about Uniform
Yeah, no,
Civil Code?
let's do a uniform civil code, and then I'll answer that.
Okay.
By the way, the last question is like really juicy, so it's like big deal right now, and it's not getting enough attention. So I want to spend like a lot of as much time. I don't know how much time I will spend on it, but I would just want to
What
be
is
able
that
to free time.
hashtag?
Oh,
What is that
hijab be
hashtag?
hijab. It's a question about the current hashtag right now in Iran. There's a campaign for women to just come out without hijab. Okay, and it's about to there's I don't know, Qasim, can you let me know in the live chat when is it about to happen, because they're saying it based on the Persian calendar. I don't know when it's going to be based on the you know the what is it called, the Gregorian calendar, right? Like the normal calendar. I don't know what it's called. But like there's supposed to be, like, I'll go through it when I'm answering the question. Like they're supposed to be like, the government is like cracking down on women that don't have proper hijab, and becoming more authoritarian, and it's becoming a lot more um Islamic. It's going backwards. Like, instead of things becoming more and more liberal, the government's going backwards. And the reaction that the Iranian women are wanting to show is to come out in mass without the hijab. And I just want to, and this is the hashtag associated with this campaign. So I want to cover that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to show some tweets, maybe even about it. I cover some of the tweets around this hashtag.
I think that's like a very good form of protest instead of blocking roads and stuff. In India, like when we used to, when Indians had to fight the British, they used to like break laws like this. That British used to say that Indians can't make salt, so they used to go in like huge numbers to make salt so that they can't arrest everyone. So they used to arrest only the leader. But when it comes to fighting our own government, people just go around blocking roads and like burning trains and stuff.
Okay, but how would you do that in India? There's no equivalent of taking off a hijab. Like, go nude or something? Like, what would you do?
No, no, no. Like, if you want to like protest against the farm laws, which were like capitalist laws for farming and stuff, then you could just sit in the like the government has like this place in every major city. It's called the Jantar Mantar. The government has built this place for protesters to go and sit there. So,
But
like, you
if
can
they
sit
cause
there
no
and fast.
inconvenience for the government, there's no reason for the government to listen to them. Like, in
No, but
Iran, when you take off the hijab, they don't like that. So that's an inconvenience. Like, so but like in India, right? If you don't block the roads and the farmers want something, and you just go to the designated protesting area, Like the only thing the government has to do is just wait until you're done and you go home, right? There needs to be some cost.
Yes, yes. So like there was a protest called the India Against Corruption protest. So the people wanted an official which was like which had like really high powers to control corruption. So like they used to do things like this, and the protest was like somewhat successful too. But the farm protest were like more successful. But like the cost is very high when you block, and these people
Yeah,
don't
but
block like minor roads.
if the cost is not high, nobody will listen to them, right?
But the thing is, like when it came to farm laws, everybody knows that capitalism is good. So even
Not
though
every
most of the
what
people,
who do, everybody knows who's. I mean, I agree with you, but not everybody knows that.
oh, sorry, I take that back. But in the end, capitalism is good. So if these people had problems when they came out and blocked the roads, not only did they cost the government like a lot of toll money and tax collection, they stopped all the like goods that came used to come from Punjab and places like that, and like we came into a net loss like this. And if it was like a peaceful protest and it had to like it was peaceful mostly, but if it was a peaceful protest in a like designated area, and they could have shown that it was
Again,
a
if it was
protest.
that piece, if it was no cause, again, I'm telling you, like, okay, I agree with you. I'm on capitalism side, but I'm also on protester side, and you can't ask the protesters to be so civil that there's no cost associated with anything that they do. I'm telling you right now, that would be a recipe for nobody taking you seriously.
But like when you block roads, aren't you making life inconvenient for fellow citizens?
Yeah,
Like
but you have to, but again, if you don't make life inconvenient for anybody, nobody's going to give a crap about your protest. Like your protest is not going to go through. Like that's how protests work. Like there needs to be some form of cost to society, or else you're not going to get what you want.
how about going to news channels and advertising what you have to say to make more people join your cause?
And okay, but if more people join your cause, again, they're going to go and protest in the designated protest area, and no matter how large you grow, it's not going to really matter because nobody gives a crap about your like the government could be like, okay, good job, yeah, go home
In
now.
the end, elections are coming, so the government might take them seriously because they will lose majorly in elections.
Yeah, all you need to do is just poke at Pakistan, and Pakistan pokes back, and everybody's going to be scared and just vote back for the BJP.
Yes,
Like
that's
there you
a
go.
good point. I think. Yes, that's a good point. But
Yeah.
this, um, like I could have supported the CA protest like once because, but these protests, like I thought they were really shit protests. Like we
I
really
mean,
suffered because of it.
yeah, I mean, I think the farmers. Okay, so I'm conflicted. Okay, I am for capitalism. I don't think the farmers what they wanted would have made their situation better. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it. Okay, but I'm also very much for supporting a culture of protest. You know, a
Yes,
culture of governments feeling like they're accountable to the demand of the people. Right. So between these two, I'm more in favor of supporting protest than pro-capitalism. You know what I mean?
and like if the people are protesting and like illegally, and the government goes in and like takes up all the canes and starts beating up protesters and makes them
No,
go
no.
to the designated spot, will you support that?
I wouldn't support beating. I would support, like, I understand that when you're protesting and you're doing something illegal, you understand that this is illegal and you could get arrested for it, and you have accepted the risk. And I accept both sides. I accept the person that is protesting with the risk of being arrested, and I also accept the police coming in and arresting people without abusing them or hitting them.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
that's a good thing. And if the police comes to arrest them and they turn violent, will you support beating them then?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if somebody is being violent to the police, police needs to defend itself. Like it really depends. Like you have to see what was the action and what was the reaction, to see if it was, proportional or not.
Yes.
Like for example, if somebody shoots at the police shoots back. I'm not going to be like, oh my god, evil police, why are you shooting at the protesters? Right? Like I'm like, like it was proportional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you take a look at the Kali thing, the Kali poster thing?
Yeah, we covered it on Atheist Republic in the news segment.
because there was a politician from like the TMC, which is like an offshoot from the Congress party. They separated from the Congress party, and she said the exact same thing, that this is acceptable, this is not bad, and like people went mad over her, and all the liberals were opposing Nupur Sharma for stating out the thing which she called like took from the hadith. They were supporting like this politician because like whatever she has said, that is the truth. So she should not be like opposed because she has said the truth and some things like that.
I don't. Okay, I don't understand the people who are saying like they're supporting. They're saying that we shouldn't have blasphemy laws against Nupur Sharma. Okay, but we should have blasphemy laws against the people who are having Kali posters and draw Kali. Like, isn't there a double standard here?
I think there is, but like there are like in Hindutva, there are like two factions. One is like against blasphemy laws, which wants it removed no matter what cartoons you make, and there is one section which wants it like more harder blasphemy law. So
No,
like
but like not
there are
Hindus,
some
but there are a lot
hypocrites
of
too.
Hindus. There are like I don't know if they consider themselves Hindutva or not, but there are a lot of Hindus who are like, oh yeah, like oh my god, they offended Hinduism, arrest them, and
Oh
then
yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
like, oh this person like, and then at the same time they're supporting Nupur Sharma, and they're like, why do we have blasphemy laws? This shouldn't be a law. Like, do you guys like
Yes,
not notice? Like, I mean, it's the same. Sometimes it's the same Twitter accounts and the same outlets and content creators are like, you guys are not being consistent with your values here, unless your values are defend Hinduism and you know fight
defeat
Islam.
Islam.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Assalamu
Cop India
alaikum,
is like
brothers.
that or what? I think
Alaikum
Cop India is
assalam.
the one like that.
Yes, let's fight
Walaikum assalam.
Islam. Let's fight Islam. Where are we fighting it?
In India.
Oh, leave India alone, man. There's only 220 million Muslims there, and apparently the population of India is supposed to be is going to hit about 1.2 billion, or 1.3 billion. So, I don't think Hindu Indians are a minority.
They
I
are a
think
Yeah.
minority.
Hindu Indians are a minority in India.
Yes. Oh no, Hindu.
No,
Sorry,
no.
sorry. No, I thought you said you're Muslim. Sorry, I don't know why I'm not listening. Yeah. Okay. But why would you? Why would anybody think Hindus are a minority? That's why I was confused. Like, who's claiming Hindus to be a minority for you to address that?
Oh, you don't see the tweet? Well, okay, obviously you don't because you're not on Twitter. Thing, but sometimes they're like, oh, we've been a victim of the Muslims for 1400 years, and how long are we going to be the victims of the Muslims in India? We need to fight back. Now I don't know, those type of comments you tend to see quite a lot of. So,
It's kind of well. I mean, you don't have to be. I mean, technically, you don't have to be a minority to be a victim.
no,
Do you
this
have to
is
be?
no. You got a good point there. And
Mm.
about the Kali situation, I'm surprised that the Indian government within, I think it was 24 hours or 48 hours, wrote to the Canadian government asking them to take the poster down or either remove the screening or take some sort of action. Um,
Oh yeah,
which was,
that's
but
really.
they, on the other hand, when it was the Sharma incident, they kind of let it ride out until it became a sort of global
Yeah.
situation. So
I mean, well, let me make play devil's advocate. Okay, they might be like, look, other countries came and decided that they could tell India that our politicians did a boo boo. Okay, and our government even though they were these other Islamic countries that have this was not done in Islamic countries, but they decided that they can come and lecture us, and our government responded by firing the politician, and our government responded, the Supreme Court of our land responded by condemning her. So isn't this a bit hypocritical that we can't go to other countries and telling them to not blaspheme against our religion if other countries are coming here and telling us not to blaspheme against their religion? How about that? See?
yeah,
Okay.
it's a fair point, but if your spokesperson, they did two very clever things. They called her part of a fringe group, and then when you've got Prime Minister Modi, and he's meeting these Arab nations and he's hugging them. Come with the same energy that your spokesperson. Start. I would like for Mr. Modi to go up to one of these Arab leaders and be like, "Oh yeah, Sahih Bukhari, blah 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 blah." Come with that same energy, and if that's your spokesperson doing the same thing, please do the same. But I didn't see that. I see him very humble. very, warm, lots of hugging going on, lots of embracing. He's not coming out going, yeah, Sahih Bukhari, blah, 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 blah. He's not doing any of that. So why is the spokesperson doing it?
Well, I
Because
mean,
like the spokesperson
yeah.
is of the BJP and prime minister is of the country. Like she wasn't a
Yeah,
she wasn't a spokesperson of the country or the government. She was a spokesperson of the party.
Isn't he part of the party?
Yeah, but he's supposed to, as you know, but in his position, not with his current position, he's supposed to represent the entire country, not just one party.
But isn't that his party, or doesn't?
I know.
Is he not the
It is
leader
his-
of that party?
I mean, he's part of that party, but now in his current capacity, he's supposed to represent people who are not part of that party too, as well, right? He's been elected.
Yeah, true. But if it was like the Prime Minister of the UK, and then you have the spokesperson who is of the Conservative Party, saying those sort of stuff on television, that would represent the Prime Minister also. So
Yes,
fair
but
enough.
like the prime minister later said that the party later said that these views don't represent us. Like I'm not
Yeah.
trying to save them. They are a bunch
Good.
of hypocrites. They're politicians after all. But
I'm glad it only took
that's what
them
it is.
a week. Hello.
I mean,
Okay.
who's in charge of the party? Is the prime minister in charge of the party, or is he just a member in the party?
No, he's still the head of
He's
it.
a member in the party.
Yeah,
a
I think the
member.
head of the party is different than the.
Like it's his
prime
guy.
minister. Who's
Okay,
who's the head of the?
uh,
Maximum.
It's
Go
his guy.
Actually, Indian government's position has been like this since ages.
on. Okay.
So,
Like what?
like they condemn France for making the postures of prophet. And
Wait,
they
Indian
condemn-
government. Really,
Yes,
the
yes.
Indian government condemned France? Condemned for the
Yes,
Muhammad
they
Christmas?
summoned envoy and told him that this is derogatory and country shouldn't be involved in religious affairs like this.
Okay, why would the Indian government want to lecture France about that? I don't understand.
It
What is
did
the-
with the Denmark thing too, when
Go to the
they were
Muslims that
against
we are
prophet.
your people.
Okay, why are they doing this? Who are they trying to appease by doing this?
Muslims.
No, this has been policy of India for ages. So when
I know, but is this? Are they trying to appease Indian Muslims by doing this?
yeah, sort of. But
They are
then,
like-
no, I think the Indian government doesn't change the policy regardless of who is in government most of the time. So
what
even
do you think? What do you think about Friendly Muslims' criticism that it took them too long to condemn and fire Nupur Sharma?
I think they didn't realize it before. I think when it blew up, they fired.
They didn't realize
And
it. Like we realized it earlier than the Indian government.
No, I think they fired her, and after that, Qatar came into picture.
The
Wait,
hashtags
no,
the hashtags went
Because-
viral, and then
And then they fired Nupur Sharma.
yes, hashtags went viral. Nupur Sharma was fired. Then the Qatari government summoned the envoy or diplomat.
Yeah. So this has been consistently India's position that no.
So
revolution is-
how come Modi has been silent about it?
Modi is always silent about every single issue.
Every
Mhm.
single issue. He has only
that a good
spoken on.
sign?
It's all beneath him. All politics is beneath him. So he thinks this is all untouchable to him, and he should just do prime minister's job, which is very different
Uh-huh.
of policy making and stuff.
Friendly
I think
Muslim.
he did talk about Kali though.
He did.
Yeah,
Well, he
he
gave
did.
a speech.
He
was a dog.
didn't make any derogatory remarks against, or didn't call out Mahua because she's also beneath him. So I think his game is like this. He considers everyone beneath him, unless it's something for foreign prime minister or something, even the position. So he treats them like children or something like that.
What did he say about Cali?
Kali's
He said
blessings
that-
are with India. Just that. Nothing.
Did he
very
mention any other
spectacular.
god or goddess?
No.
No.
What is it about Kali and India? Like, why does she get more attention than any other god or goddess?
She's like a
I
mother
understand
figure.
Ram's situation, but even I don't understand about Kali.
Didn't they say she's like a mother figure?
Yeah, but so
Yeah.
are the other
So are
goddesses.
other goddesses.
Okay, so basically the thing is that she is revered in Bengal area, and Modi has been trying to get seats in this Bengal area, which is like hashtag not all Muslims, but it is 30% Muslim. And to get those 30, like to win in that area, he needs to like consolidate the Hindus like never before or go into Muslim territory. And he has been trying little bit of like he has been consolidating Hindu votes, but now he has started to like go after the lower caste Muslim votes too. So it's a thing in politics. Like
But it's not just Modi. Other people are also more
Yeah,
obsessed
Atheist
with Kali.
Republic got criticized for Kali.
yes, because
It's
Bengal
just
and
that
Punjab.
goddess.
Because when you see Sikh issues, Punjab has a lot of Sikhs and like Bengal has a lot of Kali worshippers. So to get these two states, you have to like be in their good books and defend their ideas and values.
I think it's because Kali just has a much better story.
Maybe
Like
because like
it's just Sita and Kali. Sita is not a goddess. Kali is the only goddess remaining that has a good story. The other goddesses have boring stories.
Sita is also a goddess.
Sita's not a goddess.
She's an avatar of like Lakshmi. Like not originally, but like now it has become like that.
Yeah. I think Indians would be more defensive about Sita than they would be about Kali, but I don't see it on ground. It makes sense that Ram is actually more revered and more protected god, but I really don't understand about Kali, why people are going so harsh on Kali. Maybe because people have appropriated Sita way too much. So
Yes.
maybe that might be the reason to it. But Kali has
Even
been appropriated for ages
yes,
by the left.
like I think Kali was like in India even before like the Aryans came to India. She's like a tribal goddess from before. She has been appropriated.
Shiva
Like
was also there before the Aryans.
yes, Shiva was there and the swastika symbol was there. And like even
It's not
Shakti and
swastika.
Parvati were there.
Swastika is the other way around.
No, there's a Hindu swastika, there's a Jain swastika, and there's a like.
Wait, you
North
call them both? I thought one of them is a swastika. Both of them are
No,
called
The other
swastika.
one is called Swastika. So swastika, it's also swastika, but the inverse of
almost
it
same.
is called Swastika.
It's
Swastika.
almost the same.
It's
Why
almost
did the
the same.
Nazis take that? I don't understand. Oh, is it because of the Aryan thingy? Aryan connection?
If you look at Hitler's records, I don't
Oh
think
my
there are any
God.
records of.
Adolf.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
If you look at Zeutler's record, I don't think Zeutler ever said like it's the swastika. He always called it the hooked cross, Hawken cross.
Did they take it because of the Aryan connection?
Maybe, but swastika
But
was in India before the Aryans, so he got that confused.
And why did
So,
they switch the direction? I don't understand. They were like, we like this.
okay, they
but
had
we want
this
to turn it.
theory that white people came and they civilized the world, and then after white people, other people took over and made civilizations degenerate. So they found swastika in Greece, they found it in India, they found it in North America, everywhere. So they came up with this theory that Aryans rule all the world. And because this symbol is everywhere, so this is the Aryan symbol. So, and then they also found symbols in church and other stuff. So they theorized that this is the Aryan symbol. So they started calling it, taking that symbol.
I got a message. When we were in the midst of the Cali situation drama, some of the people from India who messaged me, they were like, Armin, why are you attacking Hinduism? Like, you have to go back into your Aryan roots. We are fellow Aryans like you are. Like, we have a connection through our Aryanism. Like, oh my God, what the hell? It's like, I don't care. Like, this was weird. Like, are there like, I know a lot of people in Iran are obsessed with being Aryan, right? Is that
Yes.
the same are there people in India also obsessed with being Aryan?
No,
Very small,
but
very small like fraction of people are, but most of them are like into proving that we didn't kill the Dravidian people, like the Indus Valley people, and we took their culture too, and we are a mix of both cultures and things like that. So there is no pride with being Aryan.
And
uh,
my
also the
understanding is
Aryan for Indians was never the idea of race. It was much more Iranian in that sense.
it wasn't okay. So my understanding is that when the Aryans came to India, they introduced the caste system, right? I mean, and it was the top three castes that were supposed to be Aryan, and the last caste, right? The Shudras are the non-Aryans,
Well,
and the
that's
Aryans were.
one theory. We really don't have much information of that period. So,
Like if you come to
so
current results, like current genetic data, only the Dalits, which are the most lowest caste from Tamil Nadu, and some castes from like UP have no Aryan DNA. Other than that, almost all of the people have some amount of Aryan DNA in them, and the most rich in Aryan DNA, the people most rich in Aryan DNA are the Jats, who are like not Brahmins. So it is really messed up right now. I think you should get Razib Khan into to talk about this, because he's really good at this. He's an
yeah.
Wait,
ex-Muslim too.
friendly Muslim, do you want to add anything about, especially about Modi and such his policy? What are your thoughts on anything we said? Because we have been quiet for a while.
No, I just think that he's obviously when you said that he needs um, votes, and that's all of a sudden brings to mind why he may have been then talking about Kali, because you know how important she is, the mother of India, I think it was, or
Oh no, no.
Bharat.
There
Um,
is no mother of India, man. South Indians
he,
get offended when you say things like
he
this.
he said something like that. No, he said she's a mother figure. He praised her,
Oh
but
yes, he might have praised her, but like if you go to South Indians and tell them, like not all, but if you like do anything to generalize India from the North Indian point of view, they get really angry. You have to always correct yourself.
We had one person in India reportedly. We never got a picture confirmation, saying that they used our picture of Sexy Cali, Atheist Republic Sexy Cali, in a shrine. Like they had the picture copy, a printed picture of her, and they put our Cali in a shrine, and they were worshiping it.
It is possible, very much
That would be
possible. Like,
amazing.
oh
Can
yeah.
we make? Yeah.
I don't know why people get this much hurt over just images. Like first thing which strikes me is, how do you know she's a goddess? She might be like some anime character or something. Why are you getting offended? You haven't seen what she looks like, or what he looks like, what your god looks like. Why are you
I
getting
think
so
we,
offended?
I think we improved Cali. Like our Cali has been better than any other Cali I've ever seen in the history of India. I was like
Uh, I
expecting thank you from India.
like I found the original one which you initially posted. I found it better. I don't know why. But the
By
like,
the way, oxymoron, you're giving us echo.
but like the Lakshmi, the Ethereum cartoon was nice. I think.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
yeah, so Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday said, "Blessings of Goddess Kali are always with the country, which is moving ahead with a spiritual energy for the welfare of the world."
I mean, I've read the story of Kelly. She doesn't seem like somebody that blesses people. She seems like more interested in like removing body parts from your and like decapitating people and maybe potentially eating them alive or something. She seems like interested in human sacrifices. Like I don't like drinking blood and stuff like that. Like I don't know why people like look at Callie like as this mother. Like she doesn't seem like very motherly. She doesn't seem like interested in being a mother. She seems like more interested in war and rampage and
Well, yeah,
violence.
Goddess Kali as a meat-eating and alcohol-accepting deity.
Yes.
Can everyone explain that to
Thing
me,
is,
please?
oh yeah, but I would like to say something first. The thing is, when you have to understand Hinduism and like Indian religions, I think there is more to it than the scriptures. You have to go to the ground and like ask the people what they think about this, because there is a temple near my house. I won't tell its name because it will be easy to pinpoint. But the like the cleric, the priest there, Hindu priest there says that even if like Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, all of these three die, this goddess will be there to like take the brunt of the universe on her shoulders and save it. So
But like, why do people think like she blesses people and is motherly? Like she seems to be the opposite of how people present her.
Because like in Bengal there are many local traditions and folk tales which say like Kali blessed this and this person, so he went on to become really successful. And there is a guy named not a real guy, he's a
Yeah, but it doesn't like, her stories. Okay, I understand that people keep saying that. Okay, that I was blessed by Kali, or her blessings be upon India, or whatever, right? But I'm just
Yes.
saying, when you read her stories, she doesn't seem like a character involved in those types of actions. Like the people who do human sacrifice their own children to Kali, which has happened, by the way, for people who don't know. Those seem to be more in line with what Kali is interested in.
Yes. The thing is that if you go to the Puranic scriptures like the Shiva Puran, in that scripture, the father-in-law of Shiva was like not respectful towards Shiva, and Shiva was like, okay, don't respect me, I don't need your respect. But his wife was like, no, father, you have to respect my husband. So she went there and went to her father to tell her that you have to respect my husband, and the father like said no. And then his wife Sati decided to burn herself alive in a protest. And Shiva got really angry over this and sent one of his like minions, which was his name was Kalbhadra, and he went there. And in the end, like the father of Sati had protection from Vishnu, so Vishnu came along and said that you can't kill him, I will protect him. So like the Bhadrakal stopped and said, I can't raise my weapons on Vishnu. So then Shiva sent Kali to like kill Daksha, and he went to like start fight. He started fighting. She started fighting with Vishnu, and in the end, Vishnu was like, I'm not going to protect Daksha because I'm bound to protect him, but not his life. So I'll let him get killed and protect his soul in the end.
Oh wow, interesting.
But then doesn't the story carry on the Shivling? That when he got upset and then he didn't want to be married again, so he cut off his Shivling.
No. That was a different
Shiva.
story.
No, yeah, there was a story of Shiva. But what did he do? He showed his penis to a bunch of women, and there was these priests who cursed him, and his penis just fell off. But his penis were so. Yeah, but his penis was like they played up themselves. Like that was like it backfired. It literally backfired because when the penis touched the ground, it started a fire, right? And the fire was so big that it was almost containing the whole world. It could have burned the entire world.
Yes.
So to contain this deadly penis, to make sure that the whole world is not engulfed in fire, there's a holy vagina came and covered it, right?
Yes, Parvati came and covered it.
Parvati I don't know if she used her own vagina or she turned into a vagina.
I think there are many versions of it.
Okay, there's one version that she just covered Shiva's penis with her vagina, and there's another version where she turned into a full-on vagina and then covered the penis. Okay, and this vagina covering the penis, that's the Shiva Lingam. Like the top is Shiva. Okay, so that's what the Shiva Lingam represents Parvati's vagina covering this penis that was almost burned the whole world. So
it also like symbolizes the creation and things like this, creation and utmost pleasure and things like this.
Yes, but thank you for that.
So funny. Yes, thank you for that.
Did you notice that?
So good.
Did you notice there's also symbolism for those pictures? Did you notice that when in Shiva Lingam, the Shiva's palace is on top and the vagina part is on bottom? In Kali's picture, it's opposite because the Shivites generally are more non-dualists and the Kali worshipper are dualists. So it's actually inversion of those symbolism.
Your channel might get banned because you talked about this.
Wait, I don't understand. You're saying that when Shiva is with Parvati, he's on top, but when he's with Kali, he's at the bottom?
No, that's how the two worshipping philosophies see the world.
Okay, say that again. Why is dualism? Which one is dualism?
The Kali one.
And the other one is a monist one?
No, monist.
And what does
So
that got to do
Shivites
with
are
Muslim?
generally monoists, generally,
Okay.
but not always. But and
I don't
Kali
think so,
worshippers are Kali
because
worshippers.
I don't think so that Shivites are monoists, because mostly it is the Vaishnavites who are like into purity and stuff like these. The Shiva worshippers go on worshipping many gods, and there is a specific clan of Tamil Brahmins. It is called the Iyengars, and they are very much against Shiva, and they refuse to like offer prayers and things like that to Shiva. I think it
So
is the
for people,
Vaishnavites who are more monotheists.
who don't know, this is a Shiva lingam, and this part of the Shiva lingam represents Shiva's penis, and this part of the Shiva lingam represents Parvati's vagina, right? Do
So
most Indians know that this is Shiva's penis?
yeah,
Yes, most Indians know it. Like
but
they don't
that's
talk
not
And
about
always
it,
the
but they know it.
interpretation.
huh?
So no, but so it is interpretation, but they don't say it this way. So the phallus represents the consciousness, and the vagina represents the world.
I mean, every penis represents consciousness, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yes, like
well,
most people don't talk
they
about it. When
deduce
you
it.
ask them,
I
when
mean,
you ask them, they will.
if
If you
people
ask
were
them, I
pouring
don't know.
milk on my penis and rubbing it, I would be very conscious. Is the milk that they pour on top of it represent cum?
No, it like
No,
represents your devotion that you are offering the most expensive thing around to like Shiva.
And do you think when people keep rubbing the Shiva lingam, do you think like Shiva is like feeling it?
I don't know. To
yeah,
ask a believer who believe that Shiva exists.
no.
Because that is illegal. That
Well,
is like we don't
It
have
is
Shiva's
illegal.
consent.
You know, many people have started saying that there are
Wait, friendly
shivling in
Muslim wants to say
Baba.
friendly Muslim.
so
Oxymoron, mute yourself when you're not speaking. Yeah.
do you guys also know about that temple that the girls get sent to in India also, and they have to be topless and they sort of have to rub themselves on the lingam?
They do?
I don't think
Yeah,
there is, but I don't think I know there is, but there could
I
be.
don't know.
it's a hush hush thing. Apparently, people keep it
There are all
quiet.
kinds of temples in India.
No,
Yeah,
I've
and
never
so
heard about this.
the girls
It
Like
get
could
there's
sent
a
up
also be
there
a new rumor.
as an
there's a
offering.
there's a
I,
temple in like
I
South
can't
India
see.
where only men are allowed, and the Supreme Court said no, you have to allow both men and women. People were like, what the hell?
Based, I agree with the Supreme Court.
Why?
No, but
Because like
I
in
think
many
they should make Shiva lingams that vibrates.
no, but like why should we allow both men and women to go in a temple which is only like designated for men? There are like women only temples too. They aren't giving the men the right to go in there, so why give women the right to go
I
into men
think
only temples?
well, I think they should do both of them should be, you know, look at this, guys. I think they should make this part vibrating, okay, and then like a lady could come and sit on top of it, and look, it gathers all the liquid stuff. This part, like when she like gets wet off of it, the bottom part already has a section where it could just gather, you know, all the liquidity and take it away. It's perfect.
Is
I
that going
think
to
it's.
be new merch from Atheist Republic?
I
The
mean,
new
if we had enough research,
Christmas line.
I think I would if genuinely if we had enough resources, I would make a merch like that. I don't think we are there yet, but
Like if
I'm
you
adding it.
if you went ahead and made it and thought you should like sell it on Amazon, Indian government would have definitely asked Amazon to deplatform you. Because
There's a
like
person in
Amazon,
live chat that is very butthurt over what we're saying this is sexualization, and also no here sexual objectification. Wow, so progressive. Actually, it is progressive because sex is a real thing, and we're not disgusted by it. So
I have
you
no
know,
issues with objectification of men or women in general.
oh man, these people
I
are
don't know.
embarrassing to me.
I don't understand when people saying you're objectifying women. I think like when you are talking about sex, you're doing the opposite of objectifying because objects are not sexy. Like you're actually when you're recognizing the sexiness in somebody, you're humanizing them. You're not objectifying them because I don't get aroused by a wall or a rock like other objects. It's only humans that I get aroused by. So technically, you're humanizing them.
Considering also
But
what the actual thing.
objectification is also not antithetical to humanization in general. So even though we can humanize the objects, we do it in movies, or we
Oh
humanize
yeah.
animals like dogs and
Okay.
cats. We
This friendly Muslim wants to speak as well.
Yeah, no,
What do you
because
say?
there are other types of shivs also that people actually rub against for fertility in certain places also. So they're different
Oh,
shaped
yeah,
ones.
I know. Like what
See,
happens is when somebody is not able to get married, he or she has to go to like the Shiva temple and offer milk to like the Shivlingam to get married, and somehow the powers of Shiva will come along, and the person will person will
and
get
some of
married.
them rub themselves against the shivling. Is that correct?
And
I never
if
seen or
they
heard
do,
about that.
like if they do, it is I think it is very less in some parts of South India because I have never seen or heard anything like this.
We should make an art about this. I think we should make an art of Callie rubbing herself on the Shiva Lingam. What do you guys think?
I think you should make some most Sikh art. I
What?
think you should just see like art on Sikh symbols. I think you should just make these art and like force people to see this. Like here, see this.
For,
Like hold their heads and they can.
no, that would be
No,
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 no, no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no, no.
no. Force people to see. You're so Satya is so butthurt over people's butthurt that he wants us to like
Yes.
look at this suffer.
I think if people were like more used to things like this on walls and things like that, then they will not go so mad over things like simple posters and some things like these.
I mean, it should be their decision though. We can't force this upon anybody.
I think we got to
Like
have
I'm
some
not
sort of
forcing it.
no,
Like
but
I'm
some
just
sort of moral decency. I think. I mean, I'll agree that it's in certain places and times it's getting the reaction to certain things. Like I don't know if you covered the Samsung story in Pakistan, where they just started ripping apart the Samsung stores and all of the rest of it because either a QR code was blasphemous or something else like that. So these sort of
hey,
reactions,
guy is dangerous, man.
yeah,
This
some
guy is
like
dangerous
these.
because he has like this. He's like this Python or JavaScript, which he can like enable, and like the whole chat will be filled with his like messages and things like these. It'll be really dangerous.
Somebody is threatening us. This is the most weird threat I've ever received in the live chat.
Yes, he did it to Haris Sultan too. Like he like
Wait,
literally spoiled the whole of his live chat.
he did what?
He has like this bot or JavaScript enabled. Like he has this JavaScript or something, a code which he can like enable to continuously spam in your like in your live stream.
Okay,
And he has
let
like
me read that. Let me read the threat. So this guy named Ardha Narish. Okay,
Ardhanarishwar.
okay, wow.
You should
Are you
watch your mouth before we turn you into Haris Sultan.
okay? Are you? Does this person have the record in number of vowels in his name? I think like you need to contact Guinness World of Record because like I've
It's not
never
it's
seen.
not it's not his name, it's Shiva's name. It's a
Oh,
fake
she
name.
was there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, it's not that many. It's 5 vowels. It's a very long name. Oh, somebody else is angry. So go back to Iran.
Yeah, that
Well,
was the other guy in the Sultan Harris chat as well on Sunday.
Oh, people are angry because we're talking about Shiva's penis. God, let me explain to you guys. See this red button? This is the button that you press and turns into a vibrator. When you press it, this whole part vibrates, and then a respectable lady could just come and just put her, can I say it on YouTube? Clitoris on rub it on here part on there. Okay, and then when she gets wet, it will just drip all the way down here. It will fill this part, and it will go all the way and it get down here. Okay, so. Is this what you guys are upset about? Oh, Satya just got removed. You guys did it. You guys are attacking us. Look, they took out Satya. How did you guys do this? Hey, these people's threats are real. Friendly Muslim, they're gonna come for you next.
I mean, I was just talking about the story of the goddess. That's what we were talking about. So I don't know where the the issue is. We're just talking about the story of what we understand it to be.
Yeah. Oh, look, the threat continues. They say, you're going to see now. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens. I want to see what they're going to do.
Armin,
Yes, go on.
now you have two theists, and there's no atheist here except you in stream.
Oh, it's starting, guys. It's starting. Look, one. Like, we're getting spam bots. Okay, or do we have admins here? Do we have mods? Guys, they're taking over. Oh my god. Okay, block this user. Let's see. I blocked this one. Guys. Oh my god, we're being taken. Our live chat is being attacked. We're getting spams. Okay, there's another one started. I'm gonna block this one. They're just posting ones in the live chat. Okay, I'm blocking it. By the way, if you're watching the stream later, because I'm blocking them, you're not gonna see these, because eventually when that. Okay, Soha, can you take out all these ones? Jesus Christ, these guys are good. Okay, so the live chat has been completely ruined. Nobody can do anything in the live chat anymore. Sorry, guys. I have your... Okay, so this is another comment. I have your mom... Okay, so this person is saying, I have your mom's address. I don't know how you'd have that. My mom is dead. Do you have her address in heaven?
You should go there.
Okay. Here's another comment. By the way, the comments that I'm highlighting, they're being posted like in tens of them, like a lot of them, before Soha removes them. So this guy is saying, I have your mom address, I have your mom address, I have your mom address, I have your mom address. Why is that the insult that they're going for? Okay, this is another one, the same insult. I have your mom address. So they started with posting a whole, hundreds of ones. Now they're all posting, there's hundreds of this message. I have your mom address. Why are these the insults? Like, I'm noticing in Hindu and Islamic communities, they go after your sister, your mother, or your daughter, or your wife. Like, that is, they think that's the most sensitive thing. Like, why? Like, oh, look, actually, never mind. This is the first time I'm seeing this. Wow, equality, guys. This is so progressive. I have your brother's address.
Read the name.
The name is Nuria Khan. The Kuti will... Oh my god, what the hell's wrong with these people?
Yeah, it's
guys, I'm so proud of you. Look at this equality. They are progressing. They have my brother's address. Instead of sister or mom or daughter or wife, they're doing brothers. This is progress. I'm so proud of you guys. Equality, finally. Look, they're being inclusive. I have all your family's address. This is inclusivity. They're not doing women only anymore. So progressive. Even our trolls are becoming...
IT cells work. IT cell trolls work this way. They gang up or something.
They're listening to us too. Like, they're changing their messages based on our feedback.
But then you give them content to outreach, so it's win-win for them.
Doesn't this help our channel? Like, isn't YouTube getting signals that there's a lot of comments on our live chat?
It helps your channel.
Okay, well,
because
thank you.
The intensity of the comments in the live chat decides how above you will be in the algorithm and things like this.
Okay, so what are you guys doing? Maybe we shouldn't have told them that. Oh, they're listening. Like, it won't help you. Okay. Then keep doing it. Soha, you're doing such a good work. Like, poor Soha is banning these people left and right. Sorry, Soha. Do I need to make someone else admin?
They come here and then they outreach. They come here to outreach.
Okay.
Is D a mod as well?
D is not a mod. I should make D a mod, but I don't know how to find her anymore. D, say something so I can make you a mod. I will... Oh my god, now it's getting intense. Now the messages are saying, I will kidnap you. Okay, that's this is getting illegal territory now. Go to your Allah in Iran. Allah is everywhere. I don't need to... Friendly Muslim, isn't Allah everywhere? I don't need to go to Iran to see Allah, right?
Alhamdulillah, but yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you and Allah aren't on great terms at the moment, so it doesn't really work on the insults. But it's,
Yeah, guys, Allah is everywhere. I could just chill with him wherever I want. I don't have to go to Iran.
I mean, you want
You
to come
know
back,
what
bro?
happened in
I
India
mean,
right
you want
now?
to take a shahada or something? We can just get a bit of protection in these
Yes,
times of need. Or...
yes.
You
Let's
know, in
let's go back
India,
to. Yeah, go on,
Modi is
guys.
making a new parliament building, and he has like on top of the parliament building has decided to like place the national emblem, and it is actually a lion, like four lions. And initially, it was the lions were not roaring, like the jaws were closed, but he decided that the lions should roar and the jaws should be opened. And the opposition decided to go angry over that India can't be aggressive and India can't be assertive.
Yeah, Armin D said she can help, but she's at work. But she dealt with
Oh yeah,
this yesterday, so if you can
I
mod
don't
her.
want to. No, I don't want to. Well, I mean, I can't mod. I will mod her later because I don't want to put her in the position that she has to do this at work. Guys, do you want to take the shahada with me, and we could all be Muslims today for just today?
No, that was a joke. You don't have to.
I know we don't have to. I didn't think you were forcing us, but I was wondering if Oxymoron and Satya want to like be Muslim for today.
No,
No.
I could.
no.
I'm
Then
not anti-Islam. I'm not anti-Islam as much as you all are.
Yeah. No.
you know what I think.
Wow.
No.
Deep down, I think we should all be able to just get on. Like, oh, why are we so? Why is there so much like rage between everyone? I just wish it was. I'm sure there was a time when everybody was at peace with each other.
Read the name.
Oh, so this guy is saying your mother is burning in her grave, and the name is Nur. Why are they all named after Nuria? What did
Yeah, that's what
Nuria
happened
do?
on Sunday. Yeah, that's what happened on Sunday. All of them were coming through on the username. So
What did Nuria and Harris do that these people have made all these usernames after their?
they just kept on blocking them, and then Nuria just sort of removed herself from the
No, like
stream.
he's asking what triggered this reaction. Like they were
Oh,
they were doing anything. They were just talking that Indian people have started taking blasphemy seriously after all this happened, and now they are also filing blasphemy case with much more intensity, and that's when they started.
Okay, well, you guys, we are talking about rubbing, turning Shiva's penis into a vibrator. I think like we have gone way, aren't we? We go way more extreme than Harris and Nuria, right? This is why I'm trying to compete with them. Have Nuria,
just, just so we're clear, chaps, I didn't actually suggest anything of vibrations or anything else like that.
Yeah,
That
I
was
didn't.
purely Armin. I'm not trying to. The
It's
Muslims
just Armin
it
and
was
probably Satya.
Yes,
No,
not
no,
me,
no.
not me.
Your silence was approval. You guys didn't object. I was just saying all of these filthy, dirty things that you guys just stood by, and none of you raised any objections. Your silence was approval.
Oh no,
I
no,
You're
said
all
I
no.
guys
was
guilty.
taste.
In the
I said
private
I
chat,
was taste. I said friendly Muslim is taste too, so you should be careful.
yes.
For
Yes, we
sake
opposed
of
you.
being a good human being.
I opposed you with my tantric telepathic powers.
I was
Wait,
cursing. I was cursing you in silence.
Yes.
you guys are cowards. You guys are You guys are watching the live chat, and you're threatened by all these trolls. And you're like, okay, let's just Armin take it. That.
I mean, you'll push them. You actually get a joyful thing out of it, where you're kind of like, go on, I, from a religious perspective and a man of faith, completely understand interfaith relations, and therefore I didn't, sort of approve of any sort of vibrating of anything. We were just talking about the story of what this object meant. I just want to clarify, disclaimer.
I don't have
Friendly
any
was
problems
like,
with
I was.
things like
I
this.
did not approve of vibrating of anything.
Yes. I don't have
that
problem
was-
with these things, but I don't appreciate them too. And I like in India, laws
Okay,
are very
Satya,
harsh.
you were like, we should like at least when I'm like promoting stuff like this, I do not force it on anybody. Okay, you were
Yeah.
actually advocating forcing it upon people,
Yes,
and now you're like,
forcing
now
on
you're like,
non-Hindus, not on the Hindus, just like Zakir Naik.
Yeah, but
Wait,
if he presented his vibrating thing on a Muslim, we wouldn't be offended by it. So it would be. Was that what you like? He should show them the vibrating thing to Muslims, or okay, just all right. Just
why a vibrating Shiva Lingam? You're saying we should force it upon Muslims? Why would they be? Why would they object to that? Like they might even like it. They're like, oh yeah, offend some Hindus.
Again,
Oh
that's
no,
not something I would say was correct, or that any Muslim would be happy with anything vibrating.
Okay, I have a question for a Muslim. Are you against a vibrating Shiva lingam because you're anti-vibrator as a whole, or are you anti a vibrating Shiva lingam more than other vibrators?
Is something vibrating right now?
I think something was vibrating. What was that?
Is somebody
Yeah.
vibrating right now as we're talking?
Yeah, I did hear vibration. That was amazing.
yeah, these people are not getting banned.
They are no, you don't see it. Okay, actually, if you look on YouTube, they are getting banned,
Oh,
but on StreamYard it keeps the message, but on YouTube they're constantly somebody like I think who is it? Like Soha. Soha is like, Jesus, Soha, are you like Soha is like banning all of them. Sorry, Soha. Sorry for all this work. Soha is like doing all the work. Apologize for we ask too much of Soha. Yeah. Anyways, so
Okay.
if you get tired, just let it happen. Just let it take over. I don't care.
Okay, chaps, is one of you vibrating? I'm definitely hearing some sort of vibration going off. I don't know if it's the friendly. We have your address as well. Charlie, I'll have some tea, bro. Come over. We've got no problem.
That was the best response. I love it. Oh my god, they're coming for you, friendly Muslim.
Charity, I got no problems, bro. I didn't offend anyone. I'm quite happy to have a cup of tea, bro. I got no
Yes.
problems. We're all
I
people of
didn't do
faith.
anything to.
I love Indians.
Do you wish to talk about that temple where gender equality law was forced by court on temple
Yeah,
and its
What
ramifications? So
what do
the
you,
all temples have their specific characters. So in that temple at that particular phase, the Kartikeya, I think his name is Murugan in South. He didn't want to. Uh, he was under penance and he had vow of celibacy. So he had the deity had no wish to see women when he was in stage of penance. So in other temples, he's allowed. Women are allowed, but not in this particular temple. So should government consider it misogyny
So,
and not allow women?
so basically, the thing is that every temple has its story, and in the story of this temple is that the Lord, who is presented in this form, is not supposed to see any of the women who are like in between 20 and 50, and so that's why the temple like maintains the tradition of not allowing women of that particular age into the temple. And there are many temples in which like men are not allowed, and many temples in which both are allowed. So that is the case we are talking
which
about.
god is this? Which god is this in Hinduism? What's his name?
I
He's
think
son
Shiva,
of Shiva.
son of Shiva in this. Like he has a different name in South.
And he has taken a vow of celibacy, right? And
He
to
took a
help
vow of
him.
celibacy for some time,
Okay, but
and that form is
because of
represented.
this he's extra horny, so he's not supposed to see women. He might like because of his celibacy. We're trying to help. It's kind of like fasting in Ramadan, right? When you're fasting in Ramadan, you're not supposed to eat in front of people who are eating who are fasting. So this god is like fasting from sex, so you're not supposed to tempt him by having all these girls, sexy women showing up in his temple. Is like really difficult,
Yes, but there
right?
is also a story that the women might get tempted on seeing the what is it called, seeing the idol or something like
Wait,
idol or
what? The woman would get tempted. The woman would get tempted when they visit the temple.
yes, there are like both are like there are people who say both types of things. There are some people
Wait,
who say what you say,
what would women get tempted over?
like the idol, because the idol is like the
Oh,
so like the representation of the deity, right?
But you're missing the point.
He's
Should
he's a like a
government get
warrior
to?
deity. Like
okay.
the
His name
deity
is
is a warrior
Ayappa.
deity, and people might get tempted.
How would women not get tempted looking at the Shiva lingam, but they get tempted over this god, but not over Shiva?
But religion is not logical, na?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
So do they get to change the character of temple? and it's not even misogynistic in that sense. It's like forcing women upon gay people.
Like there's
Forcing women upon gay people. What is that? What you just said?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
does that mean?
So like government forcing gay women on homosexual men.
What has this got
Isn't
to do
it?
with women? What is the temple gay?
No, but then if they are saying that they are for gender equality, then and God should be revered by women and men both. So the other point is, but God doesn't want to be revered by women at this point of time.
Okay, but the God is not real. So I don't think like you're trying to protect the rights of the God, trying to say like the God has the right not to see women. Is that who you're trying to protect?
Yeah, so deity can be personified.
Okay, but I don't think
deity,
government is
Because
I don't think
they are
government.
claiming gender equality now. So because God
I
should be
know,
equal
but
to equally
I don't
accessible to
think
men and women.
I think the governments are supposed to represent people, not gods.
yes, but if the people want if the people want women not to go into the temple, then how could you force women to go? Like how could you force the administration of the temple to allow women into in it?
Well, because okay, it's like aren't temples government funded?
And
They
the
are
government
controlled by
takes
government.
money. The government
Okay,
takes
so
money from the temple.
okay, but they're considered government property, right?
Yes, only the
Yeah.
temples.
Okay, so therefore that means that the government you cannot have gender segregation on any government property. Okay, and what people in democracies there are limitations to democracy, right? Like even if the majority wants something, if anything violates gender equality or the rights of the minority, the majority cannot dictate. Like it's not the dictatorship but by the majority. There are certain limitations that the majority cannot decide, especially if it's not a private property. If this is public property, you cannot have discrimination against any group of people, including women. So
Yes,
it makes sense actually. So I support the court in India saying that women should
but
be allowed.
like the government has this committee set up for the temple, and the committee said that no, we cannot allow this. And even like the local court said that we cannot allow this, and like the local people also say that we cannot allow this. And the government like can do things like we have a men's gym and we have a like a women's gym. So why can't they do this for for the temples? It is
Well,
illegal.
does the temple have a women's section?
No,
Okay, so
but
there's your difference. It's not like
uh,
a temple had a men's section and a women's section. The temple had no women's section. The women were not allowed.
but the
But there
deity had
are
a
temples
section
where
and the
men
women
aren't allowed.
Okay,
like
but
the same.
by the way, the gym is not the gym is different, okay? Because the gym is somewhere where you go change. First of all, I'm actually against a gym is a private company, right? I don't think gyms are owned by governments, right?
But what if they
But
are like in a country like India?
yeah, I don't think it makes sense to have gyms that are only for men or only for women. Why would you need that?
But should it be allowed?
I think it should be allowed if it's private owned. It shouldn't be allowed if it's government owned.
Should there
Okay.
be different toilets for men and women?
Yeah, I
Should
mean
there
you're
be
not
maternity leave in name of gender equality? Do you think there's something called reasonable classification? Or are you in favor of radical gender equality?
Okay, so I think at this point in time, we can't have it makes sense because when people have not been introduced to like removing all gender barriers, it makes sense for washrooms to be separate. But eventually, I think we could get to a place where everybody's comfortable. Like different genders are not that significant anymore. You know what I mean? That's an ideal goal that we could get to. But washrooms are different from a temple, right? Like that's that's a more private.
No, but
Like
it's
social.
about the character of the place.
Yes, because there's an island in Japan which is like men's only, and it got the UNESCO certification, UNESCO World Heritage Site certification.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
I am. If we're moving in the direction of removing gender segregation, I support that. I think that's progress. Even in washrooms, if you're like, hey, we have unisex washrooms, Like I saw that some countries were introducing unisex washrooms. I was like, hey, this seems progressive. We're moving in the right direction.
Okay, but so will this not push for, like, what if the Hindus decide that we want to get our temples back from the government and we will have the temples in the hands of Hindus? Will it be allowed then? Like, should it be allowed then?
So it would, like, what if, like, would you support a restaurant? Okay, so first of all, if it's government owned, then definitely it should not. There should be no gender segregation. Okay, if it's privately owned, I think one gender is considered so victimized gender, and the other one is not, right? So, for example, you can have like this is how it is, but I'm not saying if it's correct or not, right? Like, for example, in more progressive countries, you can have all female gyms, but you cannot have all male gyms, right? I don't think that's fair, but that's what the standard is, for example, right? And if it's private, I think you should be able to do more than if it's government owned, because if it's government owned, then it should be for all people. But if it's private, I think if women are an oppressed class in the country, then it should still be illegal to do that, right? So, for example, in the United States, a private restaurant cannot say we do not allow Black people to eat here. Okay, even if it's private, that's illegal. That's discrimination against Black people, right? You cannot have a restaurant that says like we do not serve Jews here. Like, you cannot do that, right? So if women fit that category, right, then you cannot say like we do not serve women here, right? A temple cannot say we do not serve women here. Just like in the same way that a restaurant cannot say we do not serve Black people here, a temple should not be able to say we do not serve women here.
So in case of temple, it's not about people serving the God serving the people. It's about people serving the God. Do you think there's character to a specific place that government should consider?
No, listen, like, we cannot make religion like the government. If government has a law, it says like you do not, if you can't have a restaurant that says we do not serve women in this restaurant, okay, then you should not then you shouldn't have religious privilege. You should not like be like, oh, all businesses cannot have don't have this rule except if you're a religion. You know what I mean? Like, you could basically you have loopholes for laws because of your religious excuse. Like, the government is recognizing the authority of a certain religion by doing that, right? Like, in India, for example, can you have a restaurant that says like we do not serve women in this restaurant? Only men can eat at this restaurant. Can you do that?
I think so, yes. There are no laws.
I think you can. There's no problem with that.
Well, they shouldn't. Okay, they shouldn't allow that. That's discrimination. And if I think if you can't allow that, you should do the same thing with a temple. Like, you can't be like, oh, we have access to higher like some magic, so we get to have standards that other people that don't have access to magic,
Yes.
Do you think then government can turn mosques into temples and temples into mosques? Because if Hindus claim that this is government-owned temple, or Muslims claim that this is government-owned land, we need access to have azan in temple. Should it be allowed?
Well, I mean, this is a good case for example, a temple cannot say we do not allow Muslims here, okay? And a mosque should not be able to say we don't allow Hindus here, okay? If they're government owned, right? So this is like very challenging and questionable. Like, and eventually, if your temple is managed by Muslims, can they start playing azan in your temple? So that's gonna be, that's interesting. But another interesting, actually, Maureen, you ask a very interesting question. Another interesting question is, are mosques in India government owned?
Only few, like 1 or 2 mosques.
Okay, so in those mosques, do men pray in front of the women?
No. Generally, women aren't allowed inside mosque, or there's segregation between the two.
Okay, so if you want to really go at the government, you have to go like, okay, so these mosques should also be not segregated. Like, why are you like, okay.
I think they brought in gender equality thing in one mosque. I think it's not even mosque, it's shrine of some Sufi saint.
I don't have problems with like the government pushing for like even if they push for extreme liberal values, I don't have a problem with that. But the thing is, they are very selective in this. They don't ask the Muslims or the Christians to like follow things which are like liberal things, and they always go behind the Hindus that you have to improve, you have to improve, you have to improve, and they are like, oh, let the Muslims do whatever they want, let the Sikhs
But
do whatever they want.
but government doesn't own churches or mosques in India in any direct fashion, like they own
That's
temples.
true too.
Okay, so we have a new troll in the live chat. Okay, so this person says the username is I am Jila Asad Jila Asad. I left Islam for good. Jila Asad Sangobi is the name of my mother. Okay, who have passed away, and the profile picture that this person has used for their profile picture is my mother when she was dying in the hospital. Like, so as my mom's picture when she was in the hospital a few days before she died. That's the profile picture that they use, right? And the way that they're trying to insult me is by saying that they left Islam, that by saying my mother left Islam. So for people who don't know what's happening here, there's some Hindus who get when they get offended by me, they assume that everybody that is being offensive to their views. By the way, Soha, don't block this person because this is. Did you block this person? Don't block Soha. This person was not spamming, so I hope you didn't block her. Only block the people who are spamming. So the interesting thing, so for people who don't know, a lot of Hindus think that anybody who offends them must be a Muslim, no matter what they say. Even if I say like I'm not a Muslim, I'm actually against Islam, they think that the most offensive thing that they could like they attack. So if you see like people who hate me in the live chat attack Islam, is because they think that I would get emotionally hurt if I see them attacking Muhammad or Allah, which is so bizarre because most of my life I have been attacking Islam, but still, some of these people cannot comprehend the idea that somebody who used to be a Muslim is no longer a Muslim or even against Islam. And this is very interesting because they're really trying to hurt me by saying like my mom has left Islam, but let me tell you, my mom did leave Islam. So I don't know what you think you're doing here by like insulting me. My mom actually left. What?
Like the liberal Hindutva has come up with a new name for these people. They call these people Muja Hindus.
Muja Hindus. I like that. But my mom did leave Islam. I made my mom leave. I mean, I didn't make her. My mom left Islam because of her questions from me. Like she was wondering. She asked me so many questions that eventually, based on my responses, she left Islam.
Hey, I'll be back in a moment, like in 15 minutes. You guys carry on.
Okay.
Bye bye.
I mean, does it hurt when they make such comments?
My mom?
Yeah. Now, did it hurt when they started doing that initially?
Initially, for a while. Okay, so to be honest, it was okay. I tried to not show that I was not hurt. Do you know what I mean?
Just because you wanted to double down.
Yeah. Well, and for other reasons. Okay. So to me, my mom has passed away, right? So nothing can hurt her, right? So, but it made sense for me not to show that this is not affecting me.
If you would have shown vulnerability, they would have won.
What?
If you have shown that you are vulnerable to this, they would have won. I think in their minds, they would have won the battle. You would have stopped posting stuff.
No, I wanted them to not think that I'm not. Okay, so if I showed absolute strength, okay, they might have taken other actions at that point. Okay. So to me, I wanted them to think like I didn't want to make them think that this is not affecting me at all. Does it, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I wanted to make them feel victorious so that they don't go do other things.
Yeah, that makes sense too. But why do you think they just go after your mother? or your girlfriend, they did that. I think they did
Actually, let me
initially.
admit something else. Okay, they were also very helpful. Okay, because most people, like, going after someone's dead mother is so vile in most people's eyes, right? So if I didn't want them to think like this is not working, because I want them to show, I wanted to capture all of this and show everybody like what kind of people they are, right? And by showing other people what kind of people they are, they would see me like, they would think like I must be very hurt that I'm going and telling people like, oh my god, look what these people are doing. They're like, oh good, he's hurt, and it would feed me more stuff to go show more people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I
Do you
don't
think these
really
people
understand
actually
why were
want to
they
have
targeting.
any dialogue at all, or is it just a case that they just have their own sort of agenda, or they don't want to? I mean, do these people want, like, fine, nobody should speak about religion, all religion should be respected? What is their normal thing, or is it they're just only upset when Hinduism is discussed, or Indian gods are discussed, essentially?
I think
Okay,
the feeling that yeah, go on.
okay, I think they are IT cells. They are very professional people in that regard. So they really don't get hurt. They come. They just want to spread their narrative in certain way. So they really don't care what you say. They just the narrative comes first for them.
Yeah, I honestly think like they seem very hurt emotionally. No,
I think they are very cold. There is also very cold, calculated move behind this, I think.
but what would be there if they're not hurt? What's their motivation? Why are they doing this?
Oxy, you're
So,
echoing, bro.
Huh?
yeah, I cannot. I think I'll have to come back. I'll just drop for some time.
Okay. All right. So Oxymoron is leaving.
Yeah, but see, when you talk, he echoes.
Yeah. All right. I want to answer this question because it's good to have Friendly Muslim here while I discuss this, so to see what Friendly Muslim thinks about this, right? So this is the last patron question. It says, I have seen hijab be hijab hashtag. So hijab be hijab means like hijab no hijab. Like it's trending on the Persian Twitter and Instagram and everywhere right now. So wait, so I'm gonna bring Oxymoron. Oxymoron, keep your mic muted because we're gonna answer this question. Okay. So the question is, I have seen the hijab be hijab hashtag trending everywhere. Can you please explain this campaign? What do you think of the timing of this campaign given the sudden rise in SDG crackdown? Okay, so the reason why this is a new campaign that is like trending in Iran is because the anniversary of the day that we're supposed to respect hijab is coming in Iran. And a lot of people, a lot of women especially, and the men who support them, want to challenge this day by being like, say no to hijab, right? And they're supposed to come out, all these women come out without their hijab on a specific day, and I think it's like very close. It either has happened already by the time that you're watching this, or it's going to happen very shortly. And and it's already happening a lot. Like it's already started. So I can show you some videos. But right now in Iran, the crackdowns on people's liberties are increasing. The government now, like the hardliners in Iran, have managed to take over most of the institution and most of government branches, and the takeover is almost complete. The reformers have been demolished so absolutely that is so many people are surprised. So basically, the presidency has become now hardline. I mean, it was always hardline, but this is hardline, right? The judiciary and the entire parliament, everything is now, in the have been taken over by Khamenei and his people. Like there are no challenges. So, and they want to demonstrate that they are in charge, right? And the way that they do that is by enforcing Islamic laws more aggressively than they did before. So, and the liberal people in Iran are trying to react to that by removing their hijab and coming out and publicly challenging these laws, right? I want to show you some videos. But one more thing I want to say about the whole hijab rule is that one thing a lot of people don't realize is that this is not just about the hijab, okay? The hijab is a symbol of where in Iran the government has authority. The hijab is a flag, is a symbolism of power. The government's ability to enforce this, it shows that it is still dominant, right? Whenever the hijab is being loosened and less people are wearing it, it shows the weakness of the government. Is the weakness of hardliners and their inability to control the people. And the more they are able to put the hijab back on, it shows that they're becoming more dominant and they're more able to exert their influence, right? So this is a signal to a way for them to signal that we're back in charge, and we are, like, especially as things are looking bad, are getting looking bad for the government, like the sanctions are increasing, the government is becoming less and less popular, and a lot of the opposition in Iran might think like, oh, the government is becoming weak and it's time for us to strike. The government wants to exert its power and influence, and to show like, no, we know your place, stay where you belong, which is under our boot, right? So the purpose of hijab in Iran is not just to cover women. The purpose of hijab in Iran is also to show how much the government has influence and where it has influence. And because the hijab wearing hijab is something that you do at work and in cinemas or in the park, it's a great way it's a gateway drug, basically. It's a gateway room for the government to exert its influence into the bank, into the store, into the taxis, into restaurants. It's a way for them to just grow their tentacles everywhere. So look at the hijab in that way. Friendly Muslim, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, actually, recently, I think yesterday I was looking at one video from Twitter, and then I started looking at the hashtag, and you could see just women getting beaten up on the streets. Yes, actually, this was the video that I saw. So yeah, it caused me to really reflect, and I actually wanted to ask you about this. That is it more about rebellion against the government? Is religion being forced? And I'm glad you sort of gave me a full explanation as to what it really means. And then I was thinking, well, fine, there is freedom of religion in Islam. So then the women that are, they can't make this compulsory for non-believing women. If you're a Christian woman in that country. So I wanted to speak about the laws or any sort of minorities, like a Christian woman. They wouldn't have to cover their head up with hair, would they?
Oh, yeah, of course they have. It's mandatory for everyone.
Oh, oh, wow. Okay, so that goes against Islamic principles that every woman needs to be covered up. Not a Christian woman doesn't need to be covered up.
I mean that's not true. Like, okay, the hijab, it's not that clear as you're trying to make it seem like what like the hijab, for example, there's no direct mention of hijab in the Quran, in the way that people know.
It's khimar, which they used to wear, which I think the Shia argues was the back of the crown, and that they should cover their adornments and bring it to the front. That was one argument that I heard from it. But at the time of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, then the Christian women or non-believing women didn't cover their. They did not.
I'm just. What my point is that you're trying to say like, oh, Christian women are not supposed to wear it. I'm saying the whole concept of hijab is been argued over and disagreed with, like it's not like the Quran or the Hadith is like been written in a way that you could come up, like, especially around hijab. I mean, the Hadith is more clear about it. But if you want to, I don't know, friendly Muslim, are you like a Muslim that just focuses only on the Quran, or do you also recognize the Hadith?
No, I recognize the Hadith. I'm not, I'll take every Hadith in its validity, and then I'll look into it.
Based on the Quran?
Yeah, just generally like general scholarship. If you say a hadith, then I might have some knowledge about it, and I'll talk about it for sure. Yeah, but I accept hadiths that they're used for law and judicial.
Okay, but there are enough riwayat within Islam to justify putting the hijab on everybody. Okay, like there's ways for you to argue for any side that you want. To be honest.
Okay, I wasn't aware of the for the Christian, because I mean it may be different for the Shia hadiths that they use.
I mean, in an Islamic, as long as there's Islamic, you have Islamic rule. You know what I mean? Like you cannot put like, for example, if you're a Muslim in a non-Islamic land, then obviously you can't put the hijab on Christians and Jews and atheists, right? You should just wear the hijab yourself if you're a Muslim woman, right? Mm-hmm. But the understanding is that if you manage to, if you are in charge, if like it's Islamic law, if you're in Darul Islam, then yeah, every woman, unless you're a slave, the only women that get to not wear the hijab are slaves.
Okay. I mean, if there's hadith
online with it. Yep. Well, let's watch this video. So this is from Masih Ali Najad. The tweet caption says, "Tomorrow Iran." Oh, so this is quite recent. So wait. So yeah. So this should be happening as we speak. Then it says, "Tomorrow Iranian women will shake the clerical regime by removing their hijab and taking to their streets across Iran to say no to hijab." And this is hashtag no to hijab. This is called Woman Revolution. In Iran, walking unveiled is a crime. Iranian men will also join us. Okay, so here's an example. Let me know if you have audio once I play this. Okay, hold on. Let me just. Did you have audio?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you're watching is a crime. These are women without the hijab just walking in the streets in Iran. This is a crime. So they're just saying like, this is me. I'm just walking without my hijab. And like I'm just walking to see like who dares like come and tells me to tell me not to wear my hijab.
اینجا ایرانه.
Oh, well. I don't know if this music is copyrighted, so I'm just gonna pause and talk over it. Talking. Oh, so this is a woman who removed her hijab, and this man is like coming to her and telling her that she should put her hijab on, and he's like, "Why are you insulting me? Why are you taking away my freedom?" Look, so you know, a lot of Muslims in the street, they think like they should do Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar. So if they see a woman that doesn't have the hijab, there are some men that they take out their phone and they start calling the police. And he's telling this woman that is recording he's saying that this place has a law, like you have to follow the law, like put back your hijab. So yeah, so it's interesting because a lot of men in Iran, when they see a woman without a hijab, they tell them like, I understand your beliefs is that you don't like the hijab, but you have to respect the law. You have to respect the law of the land. This is the law of this country, so you have to respect it. So this woman responds, her response is that slavery used to be the law at some point. You can't, just because something is the law doesn't mean that you have to respect it. And she said like you shouldn't respect a bad law. Oh my God. Wow. So that was like them dragging a woman without hijab into the car. Oh, so there's a mullah coming to this woman's car and, you know, to the window. So like, you filth, put your hijab back on, you filth. And the woman is saying it's none of your business. Oh my God. So this man is like, put your hijab back on, like put your sari back on, and he's like hitting the woman who's recording him with his coat. Oh my god. So this mullah was telling the woman, like, put back your hijab. We gave martyrs. We gave martyrs. Like basically they shout, we gave martyrs every time like somebody doesn't respect the regime. They're like, they try to mention the sacrifices that the Iranian regime has made to uphold what they have right now. And so every time they think, like, it's kind of like a mom, right? When you don't listen to your mom, they're like, I gave birth to you, right? So the mullah's version is whenever they see some people are not respecting Islam or the regime, they tell you, like, we gave martyrs. So that's a common line that you hear. So this woman is telling the mullah, like, maybe try not to be turned on by saying 4 strings of hair. Friendly Muslim, you wanted to say something?
No, go on. No. I'm just that's what.
Yeah. Okay. Like, just if you don't like it, just don't look. Just try not to be try not to get horny just by saying my hair, like, if that what makes you turned on. Yeah, if you get turned on by just seeing my hair, maybe you should go fix yourself or control yourself. Like, oh, this woman is trying to tell these women to wear their hijab properly, and they're telling her that, who are you? You're not God, so stop interfering in our lives. Look, this is so another thing that a lot of women who don't wear proper hijab in Iran are doing is that they're taking, like, what is she doing? Like they're taking flowers and they're giving it to women who have like really conservative hijabs, right? So to show like they're meet with their aggression with being peaceful and just like celebrating. So look, she's saying we women shouldn't be against each other. So like the women without their hijab are telling the women with like really conservative hijab are like, we respect you wearing whatever you're wearing, so please let us wear whatever we want to wear. Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, that's
She's
so
kissing
sweet.
her.
I didn't understand what was going on when that was happening. I was like, was this one of the woman sitting down? Was she one of the official, because I know they've got official patrols of women that actually, make sure the hijab is, properly implemented. So they'll just come up to random women that are wearing proper hijabs, or you think that was a woman in authority?
I don't know the context of this.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh.
She's like, we should be supporting each other. Wow, these women just took it off completely in the metro. That's amazing. Like, this is, guys, I don't know if you understand how ballsy this is. This is like when I was back in Iran. If I saw a woman without, okay, so I want you to understand the context, the social expectations, right? So in Iran, in Tehran, for example, if I saw a woman with bare head, the feelings that you would get is like as if they're naked in the middle of the street. That's how you would feel. Like, oh my God, like her head is not covered and she's in public without her head covered. Like it would be like as if in Canada, just somebody just came out with like nude completely. That's how that's what it feels like. So she's saying, hope for the day when we women will no longer have to fight for our basic rights. So I think her friend was arrested for this. These people are so brave because like their friends get arrested and then they go and do the same thing. So she was mentioning the people who were arrested and she's like, now I'm here to be their voice. Come arrest me as well. Satya, you're giving us echo.
Oh.
آزادی و برابری و کرامت انسانی فعالیت می‌کنند رو دستگیر کنید. آقای خامنه‌ای.
Like he said, Khamenei, come and arrest all the people who are fighting for what? Hold on. For addressing for freedom, for peace, and for human dignity. By the way, like, you guys have to understand, the hijab is not like these women who are fighting for the right to not wear the hijab. It's not just about not wearing the hijab. It's about a what they say is like a government that can tell, that is able to force you what to wear, is a government that can force you what to think and what to do. Like, the hijab is an excuse for the government to be middle in everything, right? The hijab is a flag of the government and the authority it has over women. And they're not just fighting for the right to take off the hijab, they're fighting for the right to be free, to have their own say, to have control over their lives. And the hijab is just the most visual representation of that. It's not just about the hijab, it just represents everything. And also, a regime, a lot of people think that you will see the regime falling when you see women be able to come with that hijab in the street and the government not being able to do anything about it. That's how you would identify the regime falling. So this is why the fight for hijab in Iran is such an important fight for removing hijab.
فعالیت میکنن رو دستگیر کنید. آقای خامنه‌ای.
من مطمئنم که
So this woman is saying, I'm sure that women of the world are proud of Iranian women's fight for equality.
تمام زنان دنیا به وجود زنان ایرانی افتخار میکنن به خاطر مقاومتشون، شجاعتشون و پایداریشون. روز زن به همه شما مبارک باشه.
Okay, so by the way, if you guys want to see a lot of these videos, you should go and follow Masih Ali Nejad's Twitter account. There's so much like this over there. I don't know if you guys want to see more of these.
I'm enjoying. What did that woman on the train have? Roses also. That white box, that flowers.
Yeah,
also.
yeah, you noticed that. Yeah, she had roses as well.
Yeah, I couldn't make it out, but no, I mean, it's weird that on one, like, so for example in France, where they're banning a hijab, in Pakistan or India where they're banning the hijab, and women are protesting to make sure they can wear it. In schools on the other side of the planet, you've got women that it's been turned into a sign of oppression and a lack of equality. Oh yeah, I saw this one as well. This is
yeah, this is
India.
more. Yeah, go on.
I was saying in India it was particularly fun because they were protesting for the right to wear the hijab while wearing the burqa. It was really fun at that time.
I mean, I don't think it's fair to compare it to France, because in France there is no law against wearing your hijab in the streets.
In the school?
Yeah, in school that's public, that's government owned. So that's different. I mean, we could have that discussion if you want. That's an interesting discussion. I'm not sure. What do you
about
think?
Like hijab in Indian schools?
Well, in India, it doesn't make any sense, because in India, if they allow the turban, they have to allow everything, right? But I think France has been more consistent. Like, yeah, France has been like, yeah, we don't allow any religious symbols in school. It's not just a hijab. We don't allow you to wear a cross. We don't allow you to wear a turban. We don't allow you to wear the the Jewish kippah. We don't allow anything. Consistent all the way. It's just like. So, but India has not been consistent at all.
Well,
Like,
they
does anybody?
overhead.
What?
France allows handkerchief overhead for Sikhs, which is also sort of turban in that sense.
Oh, so France allows handkerchief overhead for turban for Sikhs?
Yeah, but they say it's for other people could use it too.
Oh, other people can use it too as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Handkerchief? I don't know.
They just have to cover their long hair. So turban is like the tradition, but they're content with anything.
So can women do that as well? Can Muslim women use the same thing to cover their hair?
I don't know. Oxymoron?
Yeah, everybody, basically.
Oh, okay. There you go. Well, then that's consistent again. So everybody can cover their hair, whether they're a Sikh man or a Muslim woman. So in school, they can do it in school? Oxymoron? Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
They explicitly say no to Sikh turban.
I
It's
think they
kind
should
of
allow the
convenient.
hijab but
They
not
have
allow the
issues with that.
burqa.
They should allow the hijab and not the burqa. Yeah, I think that's a
Yes,
fair. Where? In public or in schools or government
in
business?
schools, in schools.
Okay, but in
I
public
think
everything should be allowed, right? In public, I
yes.
think everything should be allowed.
If you can allow Darth Vader costumes, then there is no point in outlining the hijab or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
burqa.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay.
But in France, has like banned burqa in public, right?
No,
No. Oh,
no, France has not banned. Oh wait, no, a burqa. Sorry, I thought you said hijab. Yes, the burqa, yes, and I don't think that makes any sense because like COVID came and now everybody had to cover their face. Also, they said that it's about security, but they never thought it was an issue when people were wearing Halloween costumes, right? It
yes.
was just, so it doesn't make any
Hypocrisy.
sense. Yeah,
I
I'm
think
Okay,
just
I have
some
issues with
level
this
of
one.
right.
So in India, the uniform, it's actually very Western uniform. So if people try to protest that this isn't even Indian uniform, or we have uniforms of our caste, does it make sense for government to authoritatively decide that they should be uniform?
I don't. The uniform discussion is a very long discussion. I don't want to get into that right now because we're talking about hijab right now. I want to show this video. We could talk about uniforms later. Okay. Well, let's do this one because this one was also very interesting. I think this one was more recent. Okay, so the caption says, "In Iran, women have had enough of compulsory hijab. Many are openly unveiling themselves as part of a new protest campaign. This woman removes her hijab in public and chants freedom. The police are seen running after her to arrest her." All right, let's watch this. So look, she's like took off the hijab and she's doing circles around the square. That's her. Oh, and that's a police car. That's the popo. That was the popo. Look, she's just walking around, her hijab off. This is illegal, people. And the popo, that's the popo. A fat popo. And the female popo, because it's a female, so she. Oh, she's screaming. Right there. Oh, they got her. They took her.
Yeah, I've heard that in posh areas of Tehran, like in like really rich areas, people have parties in which drugs are allowed. Like people bring in drugs and all things. Is it true? Like
What?
in Tehran, people bring
Yeah.
drugs into like the really posh parties.
Yes, yes, of course. You just have to make sure that the volume is not high enough for the popo to show up.
Oh,
Does Iran allow the hijabs which are stylish? Means they don't actually serve purpose of hijab.
Wait, can your audio is kind of crappy. What is it?
he's asking like,
Okay,
does
yeah.
Iranian government allow like a fancy hijab, a fashionable hijab?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes. Right now they do like fashionable hijab, right? Is that what you're
Yes,
asking?
yes.
Okay, but right now, okay, so this is why things are becoming more aggressive. This is like in the past week, they are trying to make it so that women who have like fashionable, like liberal hijabs, they're saying that in different cities, especially in Mashhad, they're saying like they shouldn't be served in the banks, and they're like telling restaurant owners that allow women like that to come eat. They're saying that they could close down the restaurant. So in the past couple of years, it has been women have been able to have like liberal hijabs where not all of their hair is covered, and sometimes it goes all the way back here, and they have makeup and stuff. But in the like, you're asking a question that has basically changed significantly in the past week. So this is like really, I don't know if you guys understand. Like this is like
Yes.
in the past week, things have changed dramatically in the past week, and the government is like. Or metro as well, like public transit. They're saying that women who don't have like conservative hijabs might not be allowed in public transit. And some women are complaining to restaurant owners like, why are you taking the side of the government? And the restaurant owners are like, well, I might lose my restaurant if I serve you here. I'm so sorry, I can't serve you. There was even the mayor of Mashhad was complaining because the mullahs in Mashhad, which is a very religious city in Iran, were saying that women should be women with liberal hijabs should not be allowed on metro, and the mayor was complaining and saying this is illegal, we can't do this, but because the mullahs are like forcing us, I am being forced to accept this. Like we're gonna abide by this, but the mayor was saying this is illegal. Like we cannot not let the woman on it. There's nothing in the law that lets us do this, but we're doing it anyway.
Why does this happen in Iran but not in other countries, Muslim countries?
Because for Iran, it has become a foundational part of their identity, right? So no hijab means it's not just about Islam anymore, okay? It's about the survival of the regime.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's clear.
Do you think it has something to do with sort of democratic structure of Iran and high income, it being a very high income country?
No.
I
How
think
so?
I don't think if it was a very low income country, I don't think revolution would have happened this way. The urge for revolution would be that strong.
Okay, the revolution was such a black swan that if you had changed anything, it would have not happened. Wait, Idris is saying something. Idris is saying, I don't think France allows Sikhs turbans, but Sikhs in France are close to absent. So, okay. Idris is saying this from France. Oh, we don't know. But yeah, like the revolution was such an unpredictable thing that happened. It took everybody by a shock. Like it was, yeah. So I don't think like, oh, if Iran was this, like if you change anything in the and within the factors, like probably wouldn't have happened. Like I don't know. Like part of okay, so you're actually kind of correct because the revolution partly happened because the educated upper class elite people supported it, right? It was the revolution in Iran happened at a time when revolutions were a thing, right? Like, and it was popular among leftists to support revolutions. So in Iran, the leftists backed the mullahs against the monarchy because they thought like human, human rights. Taking the side of human rights means backing all revolutions against dictators, right? So they were like, they thought what was happening in Iran, the leftists, right, the educated leftist elites supporting the mullahs, thought what's happening in Iran. They thought Khomeini was Gandhi, right? And Mandela. They thought Khomeini was a thing. Like they were thinking that this is what was happening in South America and India. This is what's happening in Iran right now, and they regretted it later because they were eventually became the first victims of it. But part of like the educated, like having Iran having this educated elite people group of people backing the revolution made it possible. So you might be right, Oxymoron.
I also think that high education level and development has made brought sort of revolutionary culture in Iran.
Wait, say it again. Can somebody
High
translate
income,
it?
high income, high education levels of Iranian public and sort of semi-democratic structure that enabled this kind of revolution and subsequent revolution to which Iranian regime now is facing is also because of this. It
Yeah,
wouldn't
maybe
have happened.
Yeah, maybe because of this. I don't know. Maybe there are too many people in Iran that are aware of what they could have and that they don't have, that they constantly maybe want to challenge the authority, whether then or now.
Yeah, I was trying to contrast it with China, which doesn't have this kind of revolution. It also has to do with information and also culture, I think.
Oh,
The
by the way,
dispersion of information.
Jim Morrison, who's Iranian, is saying in the live chat that it was also announced in Mashhad that it is no longer possible to wear a tie for men. Wow. By the way, Mashhad is the more religious city in Iran. So it was just also announced there that men are not allowed to wear ties. So ties are usually something that's more liberal. Guys, Satya, can you mute yourself when
okay.
you're speaking. Yeah. Ties are something that less religious people wear it, and it's usually looked down upon, but it's still free to wear. You can still wear it, but it's looked down upon as non-Islamic. But apparently Mashhad has gone on with a full ban on it. So Mashhad is like usually leads the way. Mashhad and Qom are the cities that lead the way with their religious yeah, how do you say, with how religious they are. I can't say that other word.
Religiosity.
Wait.
Religiosity.
Oh, you guys having a problem with it too? So it's not just me. Friendly Muslim, say it.
Religiosity.
Oh, see,
Religiosity. Religiosity.
Okay, good.
Religiosity.
Oh, perfect. That was here. Okay, cool. It's not just me then. Hey, perfect Dawa.
Hello, hi. Do you hear me?
Hey. Yes,
Assalamu
I hear you.
alaikum.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. How are you, friendly Muslim?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine, thank you. Let me find you. Yes.
What do you? What did you want?
Yeah, it was about that terrorist who's going to be released. And
Yeah. So for people who
yes.
don't know, we don't know if he's going to be released, but Belgium has.
It's all about that. Let me tell you, it's all about that. Is France and Germany also have pushed,
No,
Austria.
but people don't know the background. You should give an intro first.
I know. I just say that it's not that we don't know that he's going to be released or not, but it's all about that. Everything.
Okay, but people don't know what you're talking about. You have to first give a background. So there's there's an Iranian diplomat that was in Europe trying to, even though he's a diplomat, okay, officially part of one of the officials of the Iranian regime in Europe with diplomatic immunity, he was trying to bomb a gathering of people, of MEK members, which Perfect Dawa is also an MEK member. For people
I'm not
okay.
No. Sorry.
Oh, supporter. You're an MEK supporter.
Supporter. Yes.
Okay, not member, supporter.
Yes.
But this was supposed to happen. He was trying to do this in 2018, and if it did happen, a whole bunch of innocent people would have been dead. But the plan was foiled. I think thanks to Mossad, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure, but
I don't know.
Maybe
Mossad, maybe yes. Yeah, but anyway, let me explain that he was
okay.
He brought the bomb and he gave it to two other terrorists, a wife and husband, and they supposed to bring it. He left it the bomb to them in Austria. In Germany. He gave it to them, and then
what's his name again? Asadullah Assadi, right?
Asadullah Assadi, yeah. And then he gave it to them. And they drove with the Mercedes towards Paris. The meeting was in Paris, 2018. Mm-hmm. I was there with my family also. We were tens of thousands.
Oh, you were there? So you might have been dead.
Family.
Oh, so if this guy was successful, you might have been dead.
Yes, me and my family. For the first time, I succeeded to take my family, small children to that meeting, and without knowing that somebody is going to blow us up. Yeah. And then anyway, so before they reached to I think in Belgium, they were arrested, these terrorists. Yeah. And they denied and said that no, we thought it's just firework and such things. But anyway, they got 20 years sentence. Some got 17 and 18 years. But anyway, this and the government said that we don't have a law that we can release them. So that's why they have prepared this law and gave it to, and they kept it secret. Can you imagine? They kept it secret. And one Iranian member of parliament, and they have put it among some other countries. There is a noise. I don't know. Somebody's, I think Friendly Muslim. Yeah, okay, it was Friendly Muslim. Anyway, so somebody, yes, they had hidden it among some other countries, and Iran was not visible, and she saw it, and then she revealed it to everywhere, and everybody start to realize that, oh my God, they are going to release these terrorists. And anyway, now MEK has launched a great campaign, everyday demonstration everywhere in Europe and so on, and we have a great demonstration. Hasn't been passed yet. This Thursday we have also a great demonstration in Stockholm and what is it,
Okay,
Bruxelles.
no, you didn't mention the people. What the problem is? It seems like Belgium, who has Asadullah Assadi, all right?
Yes.
So it seems like they passed the law successfully. I think, right? It's almost
No,
passed.
no. Almost, but because this
Yeah.
Thursday the Parliament must.
Yeah, but the Parliament usually, once it gets the votes, the Parliament is probably going to approve it, right? So
Okay,
it looks like it's going to be.
We are not
Yeah.
sure. That's why we are
We're not sure.
demonstrating. Yeah, that's why we are demonstrating, and we are,
So the law.
trying to do everything.
Okay, so maybe the law. It seems likely that the law is passing, but you guys are trying to stop it. Okay, the
Yes,
MEK.
exactly.
Okay,
Mhm.
so but the law, if the law is passed, that means that Belgium can
Release him. Yeah.
can release him in exchange of prisoners that Iranian government has kidnapped, like Europeans that they have
exactly.
kidnapped, right? Like
Yeah.
not people that have been kidnapped for doing nothing illegal with accusations of being spies, just to be used as prisoner exchange, right?
And they have done this. They have done this in many years with USA, with other countries. They just take hostages, and these governments
Yes.
they give in to their their demand. They are helping Iranian regime to take hostages. For
Right.
example, in 2015,
Because, when you negotiate, this is why United States position makes sense. Like, you do not negotiate with terrorists, right?
but they do. But they do. In 2015,
well,
in 2015.
Okay, but at least that's their policy.
Yes,
Like,
they say.
okay,
Yeah.
at least that's their policy. But Belgium is going to have within its laws that we actually do negotiate with terrorists, like just like all the time. Like, so it's going to be really horrible. Like, it's going to put Europeans in more danger. So Belgium officials are saying we have to do this because we need to get our citizens back, right? But other people are like, if you do this, more of your citizens will be in danger because you're going to motivate the Islamic Republic of Iran to just kidnap more of your citizens, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I put a link in the private chat if you want to have a look, Armin, on the latest.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes. Anyway, so it was, it was not only ordinary people. There were American senators, and like Rudy Giuliani was a lawyer, the closest friend and lawyer of Donald Trump, who was also there, and many European parliamentarians who were there also. Yes, Belgium detained in Iran. Belgium, yes.
So that's MEK protesting. That's your.
Yes. That's
whenever you see a lot of orange among the people, that's the MEK, and that's Mariam Rajavi right there.
That's
by the way,
Hindutva.
that's Hindutva.
Sorry?
We're comparing. I don't know. Why do you think that's Hindutva?
What?
Because of the saffron color.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is Hindutva. You guys, MEK and Hindutva are like the same colors.
Yeah.
That's our color.
Yeah. Why are you stealing Hindutva colors? You guys get your own color.
No, it's a different color. Sometimes it's this color, but now usually they have taken the yellow color. Okay.
By the way, so this is Masoud Rajavi is like Mariam Rajavi's husband. I don't know is he a perfect dad, but is he alive?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
But
why does he never show up in front of camera? Why is
because after 2003, when USA attacked Iraq, and they disarmed MEK, so there was a fear that, like, Abdullah Öcalan,
no, just say, keep it simple for other people.
Yes, okay. Because they can, they arrested Mariam Rajavi, also wanted to extradite it to Iran. There was a fear that they do it with Masoud Rajavi, so he has hidden himself so that they don't arrest him and send him to Iran.
Where is he? Is he in Albania?
No, nobody knows, because that's the secret. Otherwise, they would capture him, and they negotiate with the Iranian regime and give him to Iranian regime. And
do you think the Belgium, do you think the Europeans, well, no, the Albanians will one day arrest Mariam Rajavi and negotiate with Iran? Are you afraid of that?
No, that's I mean, that country has not such a great interest in Iran. Okay, but for example, France has, as I told you, in 2003, they arrested Mariam Rajavi. 2 days before that, French president was in Tehran and they wrote a contract, $2 billion contract. So there are such an interest between such a big powers. Like USA might do that because they want that Iran give up its nuclear ambition and so on. So they can do that, and they can, for example, give Masoud Rajavi or Mariam Rajavi.
Right. So let me read a little bit of this. Says Iran has been holding a Belgian man for the past 4 months on espionage charges. These are all made up charges. Like they just Belgium's justice minister has said, poor man. Like, guys, people, don't go to Iran. Like, don't, like, seriously, like, you will be taken as a hostage to be exchanged with.
I don't understand either, Armin, why they go. I don't understand why they go. I mean, now Swedish government has said that Swedish citizens don't travel to Iran. Okay, because
especially if you're European or North American, do not go to Iran. Like, do not stop. Okay, so it says Belgium's justice minister has said, as the country considers a controversial treaty with Tehran. Why are they rewarding them? I don't understand. This makes absolute no sense. Like, these are smart. These politicians are not that idiot. They're not stupid. Do they not know that doing this is going to reward them to arrest? Like, the next European that is taken hostage is going to be on your hands. You guys have been
because you know why they do that. Do you know why they do that? They are not stupid because they want to keep this government in power. You know, they had such a great problem with Donald Trump. Okay, they want to keep this government in power so that Middle East is in chaos. They can sell their weapons, their product. They get cheap oil. So why they were so much against Donald Trump? You know,
I think it's the opposite. I think they want to. I agree with you that they want this government, the Iranian government, to stay in power. But I think it's because they don't want too much. Okay, so I think too much instability.
They exactly. They don't want absolute democracy. That's why they were supporting Khatami. You know, remember he was saying that I'm reformist. Yeah, they want a kind of reform inside this regime. They don't want to the regime fall. They don't want.
It will be too chaotic. You don't know. They don't know, because if the Iranian regime fall, the last time the Iranian regime fell, they were not happy with the results, and they think like if the regime falls again, it might be. They don't know.
That's wrong. That's wrong because they brought this regime in power.
They brought. Yes, they did, but they didn't expect it to become this anti-West.
They knew that these are the opposition. The alternative was worse for them because the alternative could be left group and they would join Soviet Union. That's why they were thinking.
They're not happy with the mullahs. They just prefer.
No, they are not happy. No. Yes, they prefer them over that.
They were like, anything is better than a communist. I mean, technically, they're right.
Okay. Anyway, they were. Now I have maybe a different opinion than you, but for them, this ISIS fascist regime was better than them because they just think about their own interest. They didn't think about that Iranian people will be massacred.
Yeah, I mean,
and so on. Yes.
Okay, but every country thinks about its own interest.
Yes.
Friendly,
so they impose special travel ban laws against Iran.
There should be.
Yeah, because the funny thing was, you know, what was really bizarre, because I saw this hijab thing, and because, you know, I knew I was going to come on stream with you, and I wanted to know more about Iran. And so there was a lovely hashtag and a beautiful picture of some mountain areas. It was like hashtag visit Iran. And, you know, like there's all these mountainous pictures and these beautiful videos that they put together. And then I couldn't understand. One guy was like, hashtag visit Iran. Don't visit Iran. They will kidnap the foreigners. That's all they use you for. And I was like, oh, that guy's a little bit, he causing a bit of a problem. Like, surely it couldn't be that bad. But now hearing what you guys are saying, that is probably what the...
I told you, friendly Muslim, the Swedish government has put a ban on traveling to Iran. You know, as actually not ban. He said Swedish government has said don't travel to Iran because it's dangerous. You know, and they don't show the other side of that they kidnap. It's not only kidnapping. You know, if you, for example, you do the simplest wrong thing, they will arrest you. If your headscarf is a little bit, your hair is visible, they arrest you. It's terrible. You know, you are going in a big jail Understand? You cannot do anything, and then it is quite. And they don't show the poverty. They don't show the danger there. It's a lot of danger there as well. Okay, so yes, that's why they just want tourists for some money and for kidnapping them.
Yeah, but there when the there are some people in Iran who try to bring tourists and they get attacked by other anti-regime Iranians, right? Like if you go and take beautiful pictures of Iran, right, and then you post it on social media, the anti-regime people are like, don't you're whitewashing the problems in Iran, you're not showing all, you're hiding the true face of the Iranian experience. You're just trying to make it seem like it's all beautiful and people are enjoying their lives, and you're just I don't know if the attack is fair, because those people's jobs are just to they're working within the tourist industry and they're trying to make money to eat. I don't know, do you think it's fair to attack them like that?
Fair. Yeah, I think it's fair because first of all, they put their life is in danger. They don't tell them that it's dangerous in Iran. That you
you're right.
Yes. Another thing is that they bring money for this fascist regime. Okay, it's not just they get they make a lot of money from tourism. So we want all assets to this regime be stopped, from oil, gas, everything. Now they have a lot of problems. You see all this demonstration, people demonstrate every day is because of these sanctions. We want this regime to be suffocated, from everywhere. We want that no help comes to this regime. Yes, people get also problem, but that's better than they die slowly, that we bring this regime down, and we bring democracy, we bring a free Iran, quickly. Is better than this regime stay in power and then send our money to Syria, to Lebanon, to all, terrorists everywhere in Yemen and so on. So we want this regime go. Yes, the consequences might be something also. Yeah, people might die in this.
This is
the revolution.
This is Iran, right? So in the live chat, Idris, who's I don't know how, is he using Google Translate or what? Because I know Idris is French, and he's saying in Persian that he would like to go. He's saying, but Esfahan is very beautiful. And he wants to go there. But look,
this is your life. But if you get caught,
Idris, you shouldn't go there. You're European, so you definitely shouldn't go. But if you could go,
don't blame anybody. Okay, if you get caught and you
he's joking. I don't think he's serious. He's not gonna.
Okay,
he's just saying he wants to go there.
I'm saying but look, those who want to go now, wait until a free Iran. I would love to go there. 35 years I haven't been to my home country, but I want to go to a free Iran. I want to enjoy that freedom.
I'm never going to go to Iran, even if there's a toppling of the regime, because there's so many religious people there, and I might just even if the government is secular Democrat, I think somebody might just show up and just stab me. Even if the regime falls, I don't think Iran is going to ever be safe for me. And also, I don't think the regime is going to fall.
Did you guys read this news? Pakistan is now stealing wheat which India sent to Afghanistan.
Say what?
India sent some wheat to Afghanistan for the Afghan people. And the news is that Pakistan has actually taken that wheat and smuggled it to somewhere else.
They sent some weed?
Yes. Look in the private chat.
Weed?
India doesn't like to send money to the Taliban, so they send them wheat so that the Afghan people can be fed. We send vaccines and stuff too.
What are you talking about? India sent Afghanistan weed? Smoking weed?
Wheat, WHEAT.
Oh, I thought weed. Okay, friendly Muslim, you heard what I heard, right?
Yeah, I heard weed, as in marijuana.
I thought this was the most amazing news. I think this would India. Hey, Afghanistan people are suffering, and they're we don't have food, but we can make you feel better about it.
Yeah, we're sending weed, and you said it twice, so I was like, yeah, weed.
Oh my god. Humanitarian aid. Here, smoke this. Everything will feel better. I'm like, I am so much in like pro-Indian government now. Like, I changed everything that I said. Like, if the BJP just said like, okay, so what happened? What's the actual news? Humanitarian aid en route to Afghanistan smuggled, hoarded by Pakistan. Like, what? How's that possible? Pakistan's government or Pakistani like some
I don't
Pakistani
think the
people?
top brass is involved in it, but I think the lower army officials on some local
So
government is
Pakistani
involved.
army officials smuggled the aid that India had sent to Afghanistan and they stole it.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, the audacity! Like here, like poor people of Afghanistan have our food, and like nope. Like what?
Before
Okay, let
this,
me
you know
read.
what happened? India sent some like good quality wheat to Afghanistan, and to counter this, to show Pakistan in good light, Pakistan had to send some wheat, and the Taliban said that the Pakistani wheat is rotten. We can't accept this.
Wait, let me see. Indian humanitarian aid en route to Afghanistan was reportedly being smuggled and hoarded by Pakistan as the wheat consignments take a return journey after reaching Afghanistan, as per media reports. Oh wow, okay. This is I bet you a lot of Indians are going to be like, see, we know these
Oh, this
Pakistanis.
isn't really surprising because economy of Pakistan is close to what economy of Sri Lanka, state of economy, economic state of Sri Lanka is right now. So
India is trying to develop like an alternative route through Iran to go to Afghanistan and then go to some like places like Russia and all. But Iran, like the regime, is not allowing it to happen. They have signed the papers, but they keep stalling it. That we got delayed, things like this.
It's also really difficult for India wanted to do a lot of things with Iran, but it can't because of the secondary sanctions the United States has put on Iran.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Iranian oil is also shit. Like on Indian refineries, it has a very bad effect.
Anyways, I've been streaming for 3 hours, so I should head out. But
okay,
you
I
guys
have
want to
a question.
go on.
Do you think that Iran will move close to China more, and they will get technology, the internet technology from the firewall and all from China, and they would basically be Muslim China, the first Muslim China?
They're trying to. I don't know how successful they're going to be. They're trying to use they're getting closer and closer to China, and they're trying to use China's technology for surveillance and also limiting the limitation of internet, because China is a lot more successful in surveillance and firewalls over the internet. They're a lot more successful than the Iranian regime, but the Iranian regime is trying to basically get their technology to be able to do the same thing.
Because that will make fall of Iranian regime very hard, and it will take very long to
Yeah,
fall.
but the problem for both China and Iran is that technology advances more than their limitations. You know what I mean? Like there are the technology that the advancement in technology that lets you bypass firewalls and stuff are progressing faster than the technologies behind the limitations. Do you know what I mean?
But the new technology will only reach certain amount of people, not all. The masses will still be.
Yeah, but the way to
Masses
make
can
it,
still be controlled.
yeah, but the technology could be open source. Like the people within Iran, like peer-to-peer internet, access to satellite internet. You only need to get the blueprint to be able to make it from within Iran. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't think all people would be that tech savvy. So only few people would have access to
Yeah,
it.
but the people, but the people who are you need a minority of people to be tech savvy enough to make this available to more people. Not
We can't even
everybody.
get a lot of people to VPN. The porn is banned in India, but
In Iran though, in Iran, a lot of people like use VPN.
Okay.
This is the benefits of porn, right? When you ban porn, a lot of people need their porn. Okay, so they will figure out how to use VPN, right? And because once they use VPN, eventually they will get other things as well. This is why boys are better at research in university, because they figured out how to find everything they wanted to. and they're just good at research because of porn.
I think Gulf was
But I
formed,
think the future. I think Iran Iran tried to make videotapes illegal. It failed. Okay, it tried to make satellite TV illegal. Okay, it failed. Now it's trying to limit the internet, and I think it will fail. I think eventually information will be free. You know, information is going to be impossible. I think not only Iran is going to fail. I think China will also fail. Okay, like if China is not going to be able to hold information away from people's eyes, Iran will definitely fail.
a
Yes, my
different
final question.
concept about China.
Armin,
Should India be
People do
perfect?
want China to be in power until its economy is booming. I think China will collapse as economy will
Wait,
decline.
we will bring it.
It doesn't matter if there's information or not.
Okay. Wait. So Oxymoron, you finished your point. Perfect Dabo wants to share something. What is it? You want to play this entire video?
no, it's just 1-2 minutes. Okay, I just want to show the meeting, how many people were there, and what was going to happen. Okay, just few.
Okay, so this is the
Second.
2018
Yes, 2018.
gathering
Yeah.
that would have been oh my god, like the bomb would have been in the middle of all of this. Wait, I'm gonna mute it. Because I don't want to get a copyright. So
Sorry,
yeah, so this, yeah.
I muted
Can
myself.
you? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
covered.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the gathering of people that was that guy Asadullah Asadi was planning to bomb. But look at all these people. Like
These are all parliamentarians, you know, and senators. Yeah, senators, and their target was Maryam Rajavi, of course, mostly. Yeah, but if the bomb went off, those who were going to run away would also die. A lot of children, you know. And this is Rudy Giuliani. These are American senators, you know, all of them are American senators. And all of them were there, present, and tens of thousands of people, as you see, yes, there.
You guys are wearing the saffron colors. Our Hindutva members here are going to be confused, but it's okay.
All right.
But okay,
Anyway.
but how many people overall were there?
Estimated, say 100,000, but maybe a little bit less. But anyway, it was for me was over 70,000-80,000. Yeah.
This is okay. Cool.
And anyway, this the organization that you know that you usually say. This is the biggest organization, and these are all supporters of MEK coming from different countries gathering there. There is no any opposition group in entire Iran that has ever been able to bring even 200-300 people under one roof. Okay, and of course this Iranian regime trying to demonize MEK and saying all the time that they don't have support.
I don't agree with the MEK as well. I'm against the MEK. Okay, but to be honest, I do agree that the MEK among all opposition groups has the most the highest management skills, the highest resources, and the best infrastructure. Okay, so I'm
the most supporter. The most supporter because look.
No, let me finish. You were talking.
Okay,
you were talking.
Yes,
so let me finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm letting you I know you disagree with me on this. Okay, but
yes.
Based on what I've seen, and it has the least amount of supporters, and it's the most hated group among Iranians. Okay, I know you disagree with this, but Iranian people seem to hate the MEK as much as they hate the mullahs, and I know you disagree with this, so you could explain this.
All right. So, if really, friendly Muslim, can you please tell me if Iranian people hate MEK, why Iranian regime need to make $1 million movies against MEK because they are already hated? Why Iranian regime needs to send a bomb all the way to and put his diplomat in danger and then blow up all these people. When Donald Trump is in power and he's looking for some reason to attack them, and even European Union, they would be forced to, cut all relation with Iranian regime and so on, because it would be the biggest terrorist attack in entire European history.
Okay.
This terrorist attack.
Can you say it shorter, because I have to go?
Yeah,
like
I just say it doesn't make sense that a regime puts so much effort against an organization that is so much hated, and an organization, for example, they say that. They say
you
that
understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
They say that monarchy has the most power, support, but
No.
they cannot bring even 100 people in one place, make a 100% demonstration. But MEK is making nearly 100,000. That place that you saw now.
Oh my God! Perfect. That will make you shorter points.
Okay. Because, yes, we can talk maybe next week. Okay. Thank you very much. All right.
So you asked Friendly Muslim. No, wait. You asked Friendly Muslim a question. You want to ask?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Is there another protest or another thing happening for a free Iran?
Yeah. It's going to
event?
happen. Yes. As I said, on Thursday in Stockholm and Belgium is going to happen 2 different demonstrations, and then 23rd of July we are having great Zoom meetings. Tens of thousands of people are going to meet on the Zoom. It is also the same anniversary that was 2018 as well. We have it every year.
Okay, good. I think you should send that stuff to Armin so he can see the popularity of
But that's not Friendly Muslim. That's not how you measure popularity. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
But,
All right. Friendly Muslim, I talked to you on my channel this weekend.
We'll finish off our argument, brother.
Yes,
All right. Assalamu alaikum.
All right. Assalamu
okay,
alaikum.
thank you for the level.
Take care, everybody. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, you guys, do you want to any final points before we go?
Yes, I wanted to ask you that should India be like sanctioned for buying oil from Russia?
Should India be sanctioned for buying oil from Russia? No. India be sanctioned? Are you crazy?
Well, there was a couple of diplomats who were coming to threaten India. There was like an Indian origin diplomat who came from the White House to say that if China attacks you, don't come to us. And then a week later,
India should be won over with carrots, not sticks. India is too big of an economy for sanctions. Are you like no? Like I don't think the West should go into trade wars with India. India should be wooed over. India should be like, hey, come to our side. We'll do this for you. Like we'll give you this. We'll like treat you like this. We'll like we will remove these barriers for you. We will help you out with this. Like I think when India is too important of a country, like you already have trade wars with one major economic power, which is China. It's not good for India. It's not good for the West. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for the planet to go to a trade war with India. Okay, if you want India on your side, you better treat India with respect, and you better give them favors. Like you have to try to that's win them over. That's what I think.
Great stream. Look forward to the next one and going over a few topics. Oh yeah. The hashtag was real Iran. So people were saying visit Iran, and then people were also doing hashtag real Iran to stop people coming, and they were showing pictures of real Iran. So it's a interesting dynamic going on there.
Interesting. Yeah, well, actually, let me see. Real Iran. I didn't know about this hashtag. Real Iran. Let's see what shows up. Oh, okay. So this is people were trying to show you the real Iran. Like, Iran, don't believe the news. Iran is beautiful. Come and see. Like, don't believe the mainstream media. And then people who are against the regime are trying to show this is the real Iran. Like you see a bunch of people, 4 government officials trying to get attacking this poor. Look at this. Look at these macho people. Only because she's not having proper hijab. And this is another real hijab. She's saying this girl was once one of the 176 innocent passengers of the Ukrainian flight that the Iranian regime shut down. So she died in that accident. The attack by the Iranian regime. And yeah, these are the people who have been assassinated by the Iranian regime for being anti-regime. Oh, so this is the other side. Look, the people who wanted to show. So yeah, so the people who are wanted to be touristy, they were using the real Iran hashtag to invite you to come. Like, look, Iran is so beautiful. Look at this is Iran. Look, this is so. Oh my God, this is beautiful, right? But then the other side is like, no, this is the real Iran. Look, they're attacking women. What's happening here? Oh my God. Look, this woman is lying on the ground. They're hitting. Oh my God. So yeah, you have both sides. You have beautiful mountains and women crying because they're being beaten by the cops. Okay. Okay.
How's Susanna? Is she feeling better now?
Yeah. Didn't you see her in the last stream? She was feeling a lot better.
I was on 2 different streams for about 16 hours in total, so it was.
Isn't it awesome to be a man? We don't have to go through like that level of pain every month. Like it seems like a curse to be a woman. Is that not PC to say? Like
Yes.
Susanna reminds me how awesome it is to be a man once every month.
Yeah, what is a man?
Oh shit! Oh no! Oh, let's end the stream now. We could have that discussion next stream, but yeah. But I'm in male. I'm in male, not man. Okay, there you go. I said it's great. It's awesome to be male. Okay, all right. Okay, guys, we're gonna end the stream here. Thank you guys for being here. This was a fun stream. You guys make the stream a lot more fun. I love hanging out with you guys.
You
Yeah.
too. All right, brother.
guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, guys, make sure you like the stream and leave a comment if you watch all 3 hours. Thank you for watching all the 3 hours. But yeah, just like support us with just a like. It doesn't cost anything and it helps us. Okay. Bye.